This could
And
terribly.
Episode 10.
Bruv, this is a fucking milestone. I completely forgot.
come on.
Bruv.
Bro,
Congratulations, man.
Johnny,
Congratulations, lads.
Mazel tov.
Johnny,
Yes.
seeing as you're like try times 2 squared lingual, how many languages can you say episode 10?
How many languages can I say 10 in? 10.
Well done.
10. 10. It's probably about it, to be fair. I can say thank you in quite a lot of languages.
How do you say it in Russian? How do you say 10 in Russian?
See, that's the thing. I can say thank you in quite a lot of languages, but I can't do numbers. So I can say thank you in Russian.
Just want about to say this is the most intelligent podcast in the universe.
How many languages do you want? How many languages do you want to thank you in? I can run you through those.
Thank you, as many as you want. It's quite impressive.
So we'll start. Thank you, merci, gracias, grazie, danke, shishir, spasibo.
Wait, shish.
Mandarin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Big
Chinese
up,
New
big
Year.
up.
Big
Ox
up.
man, like I'm the ox as well, innit? So
Come on.
it's especially lit.
Come on, we're out here. I'm trying to think what other language. Evcharisto, which is Greek.
Yep.
Tessica, which is Turkish. Obrigado, which is Portuguese.
Yes.
And also Brazilian.
Yes. Same. Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Something to do with colonization. Carry on.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. Pick another language.
I've got one.
Go on.
South London one for you.
South London.
Yoruba.
South London one.
Ishil. Yoruba.
Isha, yeah.
Is that what they say in South London?
No.
Bro.
That was Yoruba.
Why China? It's Yoruba.
South London one
Try it.
is very, 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 very complicated.
Okay.
What is it?
Love, bro. Bang, bang.
Love, bro.
Love, bro.
How are you, Rich?
Bruv, it's episode 10. I'm feeling fucking lit. This is
Come
a milestone,
on.
man. This is our first milestone, bruv.
Yeah. It
This is our first milestone. 10 episodes.
Thank you for everyone for listening.
Amen.
Swear down. Like, there's some people who listen to episode 1 and are still listening to episode 10, and it feels very, very nice.
You're not so crazy. Like one of my boys, yeah, he hadn't been listening to the podcast, right? So I called him on
Loser.
that. I'm joking. I didn't call him for that. I didn't call him for that, to be fair. But he actually gave like a really good compliment. He said that he listened to, and that's one thing. People need to realize that they don't need to like listen to our podcast in order.
Facts.
Like you could listen to it at every episode is different.
Facts. The way I say it is like just pick a title because our titles are a bit funny, innit? Just pick a title that stands out
and then run with it.
It's more hokey cokey than Candy Dance. Like
Exactly, man.
You can jump in and out. You don't need to go for every
exactly. But what he said was he listened to episode 1 and he listened to episode 9, and he was just like, I could just tell like right away the massive range, like in terms of like the improvement and the chemistry.
I appreciate him.
You know what I mean? So big up my man.
I appreciate him, and I appreciate you if you're listening as well.
Yeah,
definitely,
big up
man.
your friend. Your friend got a name? Or is...
I'm gonna leave him out because he's a low key brother.
I feel
Okay.
you. I feel you. It means he's
What
on
do you say?
it
My
means
best friend is anonymous.
He's on the run from the feds.
He doesn't want to know.
That's what Jay Huss says, isn't it? My best friend is anonymous.
No governments. How are you, man?
You know what? I've got a little surprise for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So this week, right, bachelor living, I ran out of lotion, after I got out of the shower.
Okay. Where is this going?
No, hear me out. This is
Okay.
like a little memory lane from our episode 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, boom. So I need cream.
Okay.
Thinking, okay, I'm still market's alive. I can't actually go to Norwood to go to an African hairdresser shop where they got like all the creams, like my cocoa butter and stuff like that. So I went to the chemist. Yeah. Went to the chemist. Obviously, I live in quite the pharmacies around there.
Just say it. White.
Quite a white area.
Why did you hesitate? White.
You like those
White.
nervous white people who won't say that. Like he's tall. He's slim.
Yeah.
He's a bit tanned.
He fucking eats spicy food and runs fast.
Yeah, exactly. So
You know, he's very black. He's the black geezer.
Bit tanned.
so the pharmacy.
All year round kind of job.
Yeah, exactly, man. So basically at the pharmacy,
You live in white ends.
The cocoa butter they have was at the squeezy one that don't really
It's
do much,
spreadable
innit?
for butter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a skin cream product.
But what? So what I was left with, I tried to look in the chat actually, and like the conversation we had about cream, because you mentioned one Nivea plus something.
Q10.
Yeah?
Q10.
Q10, that's it. Yeah.
Hell.
I didn't see that. You know what was left? You know the only thing that was there? Just
What?
a range of E45.
Come on.
And pseudo creme.
I thought pseudo cream as well. Yeah.
Of course there was.
White
So
people
then,
like pseudocreme
so then I was like, you
And
know,
Tiger
and
Balm,
plus,
that's
yeah, the
everything
woman was, the old lady at the pharmacy probably helped me out. I was like, I was like, no, I was telling her that I need something that rubs into my skin properly. And she was like, no, E45, people eczema have it, like, get this one, blah, blah. I had no choice. Listen, my skin was cracking, yeah? Like,
You got dry knuckles.
Fam, I got out of the shower, there's no cream.
Irony.
So I had to basically
the
put
irony of Zavi having dry knuckles.
irony, yeah.
Episode 9.
So then basically I copped E45 in it, and you know what? Nothing was the same.
Bro,
Bro, it actually
I'm
like
not-
it
Live and
caresses you. I feel so moisturized, bro.
Come on.
Like I've washed my hands, yeah,
Still soft.
and they're still soft,
Still soft.
bro. My the palms of my hand are like, bro,
Nice, innit?
They're nice,
These
fam.
living man are lost,
I
bro.
feel like
I've
a
been telling
gentleman.
man from episode 1, E45 all day.
E45 gang, fam. So
out
anyone that like I hotted up in the comments that time when we had a little debate,
Yeah.
on the page. By the way, follow the page. What have I been doing this
You
whole
went
time?
strung me out like a pagan. You strung me out like a pagan for using E45.
I'm still stringing you out like a pagan, like the pagan you are.
Why's that?
No, but what I will say is that I went to Superdrug the other day. I was feeling froggish, and I saw
What does froggish mean?
froggish. I felt froggish. I feel like I was gonna leap. You know what I mean? Gonna dive into.
I've never
the
heard
deep
that
end.
before. Nice
I've
one.
never
You
heard
feeling
that before.
froggish leap? Anyway, and then I saw a big tub of Aveeno, which is another moisturizer that was recommended in the comment section. And I was like, oh, cool, let's experiment. I'm coming to the end of my current bottle of Q10, and I'm a man of experimentation. You know what I mean? I'm not going to judge all of the other high street moisturizing creams without trying them all out. You know what I mean? Got to test out the market.
Okay.
Bought a big, it was on sale, but it was like £5.88. I was like, that's expensive, right?
Yeah.
But I was like,
That's quite a specific price, £5.88.
yeah, some weird Superdrug deal in it. So
Okay.
I purchased it, and I was really excited about finishing my Q10 and then moving on to Aveeno so I could give my market research.
Wait, you went straight into the video on an empty bottle? Because that's risky chat.
No,
You can't
no,
just
no,
be changing moisturizers.
No. That's
willy-nilly.
Rip it. No, I need to know what it does to my skin, and I can't be. You know, you have to make a really, really.
See,
good
I would have
assessment.
to have a tub of E45 in bank.
Yeah.
Before jumping. You know what I'm saying? You can't just like, because what if it's Nerf? And
I got trust
it doesn't
issues.
work, bruv?
I got
You're-
trust issues, but not that deep in it. But I got home, really excited to use my Aveeno. Realized I had actually just bought the body wash.
Oh.
You bought the body wash.
Yeah, wasn't even moisturizer.
Oh, bro.
So what? See, this is the thing. So now you're left with no moisturizer.
Yeah,
Dry elbows.
basically.
Flaky,
Yeah,
man.
you know, it's happened to me. Some like you know when you go to like a restaurant and you're washing your hands and you got the hand cream and the soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've used the soap, but then sometimes there'll be like 2 soaps and not like hand cream and soap. So I've washed my hands and then I've gone to cream it. So
Yeah.
I've applied even more, and then it's just all gooey and it's just
You got
nasty.
clean but dry
It's
hands
just
because no moisturizer.
It's just nasty.
See, would you rather take clean and dry or dirty and soft hands?
Clean and dry, dirty and soft.
You know what? Actually,
It's a mad question.
actually, you know what? Yeah,
Clean
that's
and dry,
actually
clean and dry.
I think
Clean.
it depends. It depends on where I'm at.
No, clean. Always clean.
Why?
Yeah, it
In
depends
which
where I'm at.
situation would you prefer dirty
You know,
and
fam, you know
soft?
what it is, yeah? Because you'll know they're dirty, yeah? But like, say example,
one else will know.
For example, if someone sees me, if someone sees a brother, yeah, and he's got the ashiest hands, yeah, fam, no deal's getting done.
is that
It don't matter how clean they
Yo,
are.
no deal's getting done.
Miss, when he's saying just the other week, yeah, she's got to have nice hands,
It's the
bro.
dry knuckle agenda.
No, that's fine. But like, in terms of dry hands, bro, when you see ashy hands, yeah, like when you see ashy black hands, yeah, where it's grey and that, yeah, fam, I'm not trusting you, fam. I'm thinking, what? How did you leave your house? How did you leave your bathroom?
All it means is they didn't want to pay the toilet attendant that £1 to get some moisturizer.
You
on
know
the way out
what?
the toilet.
No spray, no lay.
No tissue, no issue.
No Omani, no Panandi.
You know what I mean? Like, that's all that means.
Yo,
Their
I
hands
miss-
are clean though.
Yo,
They're
can we just like big up like
All toilet attendants.
all toilet attendants? I miss them all.
And
I
if you,
miss them
if
all.
you ain't breaking off their man a pound,
No, you're pagan.
although this does bring up an interesting question. What's the etiquette? Because, right, I personally believe that you should give the toilet attendant £1 a night. However, some people, namely the toilet attendants themselves, will have you believe that per piss, you got to drop a little quid every single time you
this
go
is
in
what
there.
I do.
I'm not paying you £1 for a little of Links Africa every single time I go in. And the worst thing about it is once we go to the toilet one time in the night, the seal is broken.
So this is
We
what I
gotta
do.
go there multiple times.
I pay £5 up front early doors.
Oh, chest.
You're a baller.
Yeah, because the geese doesn't
Chest.
forget.
That's how the
that.
other traders live.
No, it's not.
still-
I'm not a baller. I've just got a very weak bladder.
that's
so
still-
I know
No,
I'm
not
going in
weaker
a
than
few
mine.
times, right?
That's still paying them a £5 to take
Yeah,
a
but
piss,
then
though.
I'm taking the piss with the what's the gold thing? The gold.
See, you
Pack
get-
or a bag.
the pack or about
The million, the one with the 1 million.
I'm taking the piss, fam. I'm taking lollipops. I'm spudding my hand with my clean and moisturized.
You're having a chat
hands,
with
fam.
him.
The
I ain't
worst
got
part
no
about-
shortage of bathroom toiletries in there. You understand?
worst
Fam, you're
£5,
spraying it
I'm
and
done.
walking into it.
I'm I'm telling. I'm
The worst
spraying
part
him,
about the
fam.
lollipop chat is that he's stashing them in his pocket and saving them for a rainy day, innit?
Bruv,
Because
I'm
he's taking them
shotting
home.
them at the front of the club.
Because you're not
bruv.
eating them in the club,
Are
innit?
you
Like,
mad?
Fam, you know, that's actually so funny. But you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because whenever I think about like the toilet attendants and stuff, like, I always get so nostalgic when I see Paco Rabanne 1 million. I felt like an absolute pretty Rick when I had Paco Rabanne 1 million.
That one time.
Like, not even then. Like when it first came out, that was the lick.
Yeah, it
like
was.
that replaced Jean-Paul Gaultier
Yes. And Blue
Dupe-
Jeans.
and
Blue Jeans, the other one, Versace.
and Dupe.
Yeah, that was another one.
Yeah.
Remember Dupe? Remember Dupe? I got it every Christmas, bro.
That was mad
Yikes.
chat.
All
And
right,
now it's
lads.
Blue de Chanel, but it's £80 a bottle. I'm not spending that. That's mad chat.
Yeah.
You spend £5 on the toilet attendant though. Anyway,
Get it for free.
How are you, Johnny?
I'm all right. Just grafting. Been reading a lot of shit. Doing some weights. Trying to get fit for when we're allowed to leave the country and go on holiday again.
Ooh.
I've been investing in this
Box
workout.
Park, lock up your daughters.
Trust me.
Lock up your wives.
Trust me.
Johnny's been bench pressing. Johnny's been bench pressing. Anyway,
Trust me. Yeah,
Johnny's
no,
gonna come and look like Johnny Bravo, fam.
swear down.
100. That's why I'm growing the hair out, and I'm gonna dye it as well.
Hey.
Two black t-shirt and tight jeans.
Dyeing it. What colour?
Blonde, obviously. I was going Johnny Bravo. Fam.
Oh,
Come on.
carry on.
I've been. Do you know what? I mean, I've been investing in myself.
Ooh.
That's
in the last
good,
couple
man.
of weeks. Investing in myself. Two good
No,
books.
we
Read two
should.
good books this week.
What were they?
we got a book section.
Are we going to do
Towards
books?
the end with new
Because last
music.
I kind of got shot down. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I said we could do new music
Oh, we
and
can do?
yeah, you know.
and new books.
I don't know how you squeeze this many books into like fucking like 2 week gaps. It's mad, bro. I don't know how
Fam,
he
I can
finds
just-
the
I can-
time.
Fam, I can just about read a WhatsApp chat there. on the book.
Yeah, we know that,
Do
mate.
you want to start?
We know that,
When
mate.
do you plan on starting?
Like, you man
Reading
write
WhatsApps?
paragraphs, fam.
Jesus Christ.
We're scrapping it out.
We test drive our debates in WhatsApp, and then Zavi just like comes in at the end of the day to 1,000 unread messages,
And then
Oh
post
my
post a
God.
and then
picture of
decides to
Kanye
reply
or
to
some
the
shit.
yeah, and then decides to reply to the best ones, with just like emojis and shit.
Yeah, like a kid did it.
So, where do you man want to start? Hey, wait, before we start, another reminder to our lovely supporters, anybody who's listening to this, every single one of our social media pages are active. Every single one of our distribution platforms, if you want to call them that, are active. So make sure you're hitting follow, make sure you're hitting subscribe, make sure you're clicking like, make sure you're clicking save. Did I say comment? Comment on the ting. All of that stuff that keeps the shit in circulation. Nah,
Send in
man.
DM. Apparently, this is what I was told: is that you need to save the post and then DM it to your peoples.
Boom.
And then apparently that's what bust the algo.
Boom. You know what I mean? And we are we're pleasant young gentlemen, so
Right.
do the ting,
Please.
please.
No,
Anyway,
definitely, man.
well, you might want to start because there's been a lot of
Yo,
shit going
can
on.
I just start with the wildest thing that
go.
I've seen?
Uh-oh.
Right, Lil Uzi Vert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With
This is
his
mad chat.
Let's do
unicorn.
it. Let's do it.
Unicorn of a diamond that's worth 24 million.
But is it worth 24 million?
Yeah. So
Good
basically, he
question.
started paying it off. He started paying off for that diamond.
Bruv, if you have to pay
Since-
the thing off, you can't really afford it in the first
Yeah,
place.
but
That,
he's
like,
been paying.
RT.
He's been paying it off since 2017.
What?
Yeah, he's paying off since 2017. So once it was fully paid off, and that's when he posted it's time. That's when he
What the fuck, bro?
he
So,
put that.
so I actually did a bit of research on this. For those who don't know what the hell we're talking about, famous trap rapper Lil Uzi Vert shocked the world a couple of weeks ago,
Mad chat.
maybe a week ago, by revealing that he had both paid for a $24 million pink diamond emerald type thing, which is pretty big.
Where did he get 24 million?
But he then wedged it, actually surgically wedged it into the middle of his forehead, in between his two eyebrows. And it's really fucking weird to look at.
It's like the Vision from the
and then-
Avengers.
Yeah, and then there was a really weird, disgusting, awkward moment the day after where apparently some impact maybe, or maybe an infection took place, and it began to bleed. It began to bleed. And he then tweeted out and said that if this comes out incorrectly, if this isn't taken out of my head correctly, I may die. Which just begs the question, mate.
Why the fuck would you do it?
What's going on, man?
Thing is, you die regardless because like, if I can't lie to you, right? I'm a law-abiding citizen, yeah. If I know that you got 24M worth of whatever
On your
like,
forehead.
on your forehead,
And you're
yeah?
5'4".
fam, you're not sleeping, fam.
You're getting moved to, bruv.
You get moved to.
Them little man, they can slide into little holes, though, innit? Like little
He's probably
pockets.
got quite
and
big
just
security.
Well, like,
He's
savages,
give you a little
bro,
punch in the back of your kidney, innit? And you
if
wouldn't
it's
even know what's hit you.
Bro, if it's run-up season, savages will cut his head off for it because his head is worth 24M.
I think Lil Uzi Vert is about it, though. I think he's about that life, though. I don't think anybody's like getting close to him.
I think he's just got big security. It's like how
Do you know what I
6ix9ine
mean?
is able to check.
But he's like,
It's
I don't
tiny.
get it, like, because he's like, he comes from like I used to listen to a lot of Easy Vert. I don't really like his new stuff as much anymore. His last album, I like P1, and that was it. But like, he comes from like a skater boy background. He's not gang. Like he's
he's not gang.
He's
That
not
means he's
gang.
lost all of our skater followers in one.
No, but like he's not gang. Like he's not about it. Like he's main
He's not Lil
influence. Guess who his main
think isn't
influence
Marilyn
was?
Manson his
Marilyn
hero?
Manson. Yeah,
Yeah, he ain't.
Marilyn Manson,
He
fam.
ain't gully.
He ain't got it.
He ain't gully, fam.
Guy's
But
such a
like, it's crazy.
Look at
It's
what we're
crazy because
saying.
like, it's
Look at
crazy
what we're saying.
because to be fair, we're not gully either. We're not gang either.
I'm gully. Speak for
Shit,
your
bro.
rude boy. Speak for yourself,
Trust
please.
me.
Speak for yourself.
With your
please.
lime green t-shirt, you're
I'm
not
gully.
gang.
Fam, if
That's
you're a
not-
white
I am-
pharmacist trying to
Huh?
chat to man,
You,
bro.
you lot are gonna have the listeners thinking I'm not a bad man,
God forbid.
With your well-kept Uniqlo socks,
bro.
stretched all the way to.
The game is the game, innit?
With you wearing your shoes
bro,
in
I'm
the
saying
house.
we're not like
Try tech I for chief, rude boy.
you know, I actually need to get
Did I say that
more.
right? Did I say that right? I said that right. I said that right. Thank
Try to take eye for teeth.
you. Chief.
I thought you said
I said chief.
chief.
But
yeah.
anyway, yeah.
But like, it's crazy what I'm saying. Like the protection on Lil Uzi Vert, like I don't.
Yeah, because for a $24 million diamond in your forehead, the security's got to be pretty strong.
You got to be spending at least $500,000 a year on security,
For
sure.
real. But what I was more interested in, because naturally when I saw how much the diamond was supposedly worth, and I never do this, I'm not a pocket watcher. I hate Forbes lists. I hate rich lists. I hate it all. I think it's weird obsession that we have with wealth. But for the first time ever, I actively just like search, what's this youth's like net worth? And like nearly every single source, and I don't know how they get this information, right? But nearly every single source had his net worth like max like 16 million. So it's like, is he making irresponsible financial decisions as
Well,
well
maybe
as like
he's worth 40
probably
million.
not.
Horrible
Huh?
diamond. Maybe he's worth 40 million. If he doesn't
which
spend that on a
but
diamond.
which brings your first question was it really worth 24 M's? And I'm like, to be honest, that's what I'm thinking now.
No, it was. He paid it off at you some finance at least.
But how do we know? How do we know it's a 24 million? He might just be saying that shit.
But that's dumb.
You think
though.
it's a lease? You said.
It came
Well, he's
basically.
paying it off in installment plans.
Paying-
then
yeah.
yeah, no shit.
Oh, okay. But I guess that makes a bit more sense.
But the thing is, even that though, why would you lie about the value of it? Because you're just killing yourself off. Like you're putting a target in your head.
rappers lie about everything.
Literally putting a
By the
target
way.
in the middle of your head, bro.
Yeah.
24 million pound bar.
There's money on his head.
Trust
yeah, but
me.
like America's a
Money
big
in his head.
America's a big place. He's got security. Like, what's he got to worry about? It's a lockdown. Who's getting to him?
Bruv, innocent school children get shot in America, let alone a geezer with fucking 24 million pound diamond in his head. Like,
Yeah, but like
This is nuts.
he's protected. Is my point.
You better mind he don't have no rogue security guards that like tell his
yeah,
bedrooms.
but you got to pay me nice. If I'm on a security detail, you got to pay me nice.
Yeah, because think about
To
it.
not rob him
If I
myself,
was
like.
his security, I'll just line it up, yeah, and tell whoever to gunbuck me and just give me like a little
100.
something in the
Little
black
4
market.
million, you can keep the 20, just give me the cream
Yeah,
on the top.
just give me 2 million.
Zavi's definitely the most street out of us. Yeah, he was just
I'm
he
backing
just
that,
he just
bruv. I'm
he
rolling.
just set the whole scenario
For
like
24 M's,
he's
I'm
like
going
he's
to
done
make-
this before.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
going
not
to make-
even, fam,
You know
but
what? me and my
Yeah.
boy, who I'm not going to name for the
Yeah.
purposes of getting him nicked. We basically came up with a whole plan of how we're going to do this. Yeah, how we're going to rob him. I came up with a plan too.
For Lil Uzi.
Yeah. You just, bruv, you just got
what's wrong with you, man?
But you just got to promise. If he's got a team of 6 security guards, you say we'll give you 2
What are you
million
gonna
each.
do? What are you gonna do with that diamond once you get it?
Black market.
Brother.
You cut it up.
Brother.
Have you not seen Lupin, fam? Cut that up, fam.
Yeah,
Cut
I had to go
Cut
back to
it.
Lupin to be
Cut
honest
it.
because
Cut it. I'm
yeah,
going straight
first-
down.
first-
I'm going straight down Hatton Gardens, bruv. Shabbat shalom, akhi. How are you? Nice to meet you. How's the family? Da, da, da. Listen, I've got a diamond. I know it's not good to do business on Shabbat, but you can make me a good price. I'm not going to ask for full value because it comes with some problem.
Yeah.
But between the two of us, we can make a business,
Yeah.
and maybe we come to some solution.
Yeah, cut it
And
up,
boss,
man.
you're done, bruv. Pay your security. I'm gone to Mexico.
I'm just
Boom.
thinking about that fucking scar when he takes that thing off, bruv. Right in the mirror, he's
He'll get a
right
tattoo
there.
of it. He'll get a tattoo of it probably.
But you
Or
can't-
plastic
a tattoo-
surgery.
a tattoo on scar tissue.
Or
really?
plastic surgery.
I don't know.
Probably
man.
that takes skin from his butt cheek and then
bro. That's I mean,
put it in his
it's
face.
Your ass
Just
face.
just a comedy of errors. Isn't it? Just
But is it-
booty-
is it-
just bum face?
No, but is
bad
it like
decision after
is it
another.
like permanently on his face or can he take it off? I've seen him having like I don't know if it was before his surgery, but he has like 2 studs.
Do you know
I
what
don't
they
know
probably
something where I don't know something they screw he can screw on and screw off.
Do you know what they probably did? They probably put like a bed on it first, and then placed the diamond on the bed.
But the reason why he got infected or something like that is because it's too heavy. It's not normal, obviously, to have a human body, having a human skin, having such weight on your face, so it basically weighs it down. It's different from when, like, you know, like girls and stuff get, and guys, like, they get like
cheek piercing.
They get cheek piercings and stuff.
That's only a
That's
little
different.
stud,
It's like a little stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The first thing I thought when I saw it,
that always looked fucking trash.
Because I think young thugs
that
got
always looked very fucking trash. By the way, sorry if any of our listeners experimented, but definitely at one point in your life you look trash.
But young thugs got a diamond.
You might
in
still
his
look
face.
trash if you still got that in your
Trash.
Sorry, carry on.
Trash.
Sorry.
this is Rich's dry knuckles moment.
Yeah. I definitely
Cheek piercings.
Yeah, I sound like I've been rejected by a girl with piercings in her cheek. You know, like, I may have done.
I'm talking about you.
I got rejected a lot as a kid, but like whatever. Like fuck them. Anyway,
No, I'm saying I think young thugs got a diamond in his face, but it's like a tiny one. You won't even really notice it as such, but like it's different. Taking off a t-shirt, yeah.
yeah.
off
What if
t-shirt.
a straight little string?
Yeah, what if he gets caught? What done that here?
Ooh, a straight little string.
I can see Daily Mail already, man. Like
Daily.
like 5 foot rapper dies off t-shirt.
No,
Daily
if
Mail
it's
headlines
Daily
are just
Mail,
OTT in it. Like
if it's Daily Mail, it'll be like black criminal dies.
black criminal 5'4" rapper / trapper from where
Philadelphia.
From Philadelphia, ex collaborator of.
And can I add to the end? Joins his friends as all his friends are dead.
Why are the headlines so fucking long? Mail Online.
I feel like right.
Daily Fail. Need to sort that shit
If there's
out.
any
Concise, please.
if there's any listeners that work for the Daily Mail, please like just DM us and let us know. I feel like they get paid more to exaggerate like the most like stupid title like they can think of. Just exaggerate. Just
it's like the most popular news website in the world. In the world.
I'm not gonna lie though. Have
you
you ever found yourself accidentally on Mail Online for like, I don't know, sporting reasons, like, and then you get sucked in by the sidebar? That sidebar with all them saucy stories, bruv.
Towie stars.
Oh
I never
my
even
lord!
watched Towie, and I'm like,
Exactly.
they just fucking get me. It's the capital letters, fam. I've
It's
got
the
the attention
capital
span
letters,
of a
it's the-
fucking
it's the
mushroom.
pictures they
You give me
choose.
capital letters, I'm clicking on it.
But you know what? Yeah. But you know what? There's two things I go in it for. Yeah. I go on Daily Mail sometimes
For the right wing commentary.
No, not even that. Just
and
just the comments. You got some.
No. I have to be. No, I have to avoid comments.
Bro, there's some idiots in there, bro.
No. Yeah, to ensure I don't have a bad day, I have to avoid those.
So there's two things I go in
section's
sometimes.
crazy.
The comments, and this is actually a weird one. I go on it for coronavirus updates because I feel like they've really dumbed down that their language and like get sometimes to the point. You get it?
But anyway,
the thing that gets me about the Daily Mail comment section as well, they'll even run a story about like Captain Tom, right? May rest in peace, or whatever, yeah. And they'll run a story about some positive thing about Captain Tom, and then in the comment section they'll be like, "Well, if it wasn't for all the fucking Jews in Germany, we wouldn't have to go over there in the first place. As fucking immigrants, they're going over there now. They're coming over here next. You know what I mean? I don't know how people are so
R.I.P.
angry.
Captain Tom, though.
R.I.P. Captain Tom, though, innit? R.I.P. Captain Tom.
Honestly, it's stupid, man.
Nah, but for real, good luck, Lil Uzi Vert. Hope it works out for you.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to end very well.
Like what bedrooms?
What's
could
our
end
favorite
terribly.
song? I'm trying to think of songs with the word diamond. What song's got diamonds in it?
Shine bright like a diamond.
Hey,
Come on.
shine bright like tonight.
Speaking of which, yeah,
And I
we're beautiful
With
like
a
diamonds in the sky. Shine
with
bright
a-
like
with
a
a-
diamond.
with a diamond between my eyes.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Night.
Come on.
Uzi remix. Done now.
Do that.
Yeah, man. I forgot about Rihanna.
What?
Yeah.
You forgot about Rihanna? Run me through that.
Considering the backlash I got for
Yeah,
saying
who
that I
fit-
don't think she's the most beautiful woman in the world,
You lost us a few fans.
forgetting about
No,
her is
she's
mad
piff,
chat.
man.
I don't know what Johnny's on.
You know it is. I'll be honest with you. I think I probably, and I'm not the jealous type, yeah. But I feel like I got a sense of like jealousy when I found out she was dating ASAP.
Why? Were
Because,
were you in contention?
Yeah, I felt like I had a chance, man.
What?
Yeah, I felt like I had a
You
chance.
felt
man.
like you had a chance.
I'm not the jealous type, but-
one can hope, okay?
You're living in Southeast London. She
and
lives.
she lived on Greek Street in Soho for
When?
like a year or two.
I
She
guess.
did.
I guess it was meant to be then.
And I was very close sometimes because like, sometimes like I'll be in
I
Central
was
London.
very close.
I was
Yeah,
just-
cause think
I
about it.
was hype beasting my
think
Jordan
about it. Think about it. I'm
on
in
Instagram.
I'm in Selfridges and like she's just chilling at home in Soho.
Zabby
Like,
just pacing up and down Greek Street every weekend, just hoping she might pop out.
at certain times.
Pop out for some semi-skim
certain-
milk from her local.
bro, she went, bro,
I love you.
bro. Last year she went Winter Wonderland, fam.
Oh.
And like she was like, I probably having
Year
ice
before
cream
last,
and
year
that.
before
Year
last,
before
year
last
before
year.
last, yeah.
Fam, I was there the same day. How can I not see her? Oh, the chirpster,
But
fam.
who did she go with?
Just a couple of bedrooms, but she was like all like covered up and masked up.
Oh, I
and
did
stuff.
see that. I did see
so
that.
that's why you.
Yeah,
wouldn't
bro, I
have
could have
seen her.
chirpster, fam.
She's I'm glad to be honest.
I'm sure she'd
to
be
be honest,
receptive.
we can bang out one of her one of the topics because one of the topics is regarding her LVMH Louis Vuitton deal for the Fenty brand has been suspended.
Yes, man.
But they're keeping the beauty, right? Something like that.
Yeah, they're keeping the beauty running right now, but the ready for wear clothing line that she struck a massive deal with 2 years ago when everyone went crazy, like she's never gonna make an album again now. She's getting all of these Louis Vuitton money, and
The album's
apparently
coming out soon, boy.
yeah, for real, that album's gonna get expedited because apparently it's been done, and I think they said that it's a long-term partnership that's gonna be cracking on well into the future, but clearly nobody was copying that shit during the pandemic, right? So they decided to just put
In
that
the
shit on
Panasonic.
pause. It'd be interesting to see how that develops.
panoramic.
And I'm glad that was Segway King from Zavi there.
Come
Right?
on.
He didn't even know he was doing that.
No, I
shit.
did.
Actually,
But
he
you
did
got.
know, he did know.
I put my hand up.
Oh, you knew.
But I was
just giving him credit there, and he just
No.
Actually, it was forced. It wasn't
But
natural.
the thing is, I can see you coming with it as well.
Oh,
so
I love it.
You know what?
Telepathic,
Come on.
Telepathy.
telepathy.
I ain't even a word.
What else has been going on in this crazy old world? Should we talk about COVID? Because fresh off the press. Very, very quick one.
It's a topic that's not been discussed much in the last.
Yeah, we definitely,
last year.
we're not the COVID podcast, believe it or not. Really good news today, to be honest. I'm finally able to say, and we're able to finally speak on some good news regarding COVID. As of today, for the first time since July of last year, we have finally gone below that dreaded R number 1. Where are we? Between 0.7 and
0.7 to
0.9
0.9.
for the first time in 6.5 to 7 months. We're reaching the 15 million person mark with regards to the vaccination
Shout out
rollout.
Nana. Nana had her vaccine.
Oh yeah, for real?
Phase
How'd that
1,
go
yeah.
for her?
Yeah, she's all right. Phase
Yeah?
1. Yeah, she's a little bit of Russian, but other than that, most of the vocabs
She means-
stuck in place.
Speaking a bit of Russian, old tight.
But she's all right.
Yeah, good. So when's our next one?
She doesn't know
Okay.
because it was meant to be 3 weeks, and then they actually figured out that it can be up to 3 months.
Yeah.
So they're trying to delay phase 1 so more people can get phase 1. So at least you get 60-70% immunity, and then on to phase 2, whatever.
Yeah, sick.
So she doesn't know yet.
And obviously, there's a big debate about like how long we should leave it in between the two different things and what the efficacy rate is if you leave it too long and stuff.
Well, she
But
also lives
that's
in
not
Cornwall. I think most people in Cornwall are probably like New World Order conspiracy theorists.
yeah, for
and
real.
like the vaccine's going to kill you and Bill Gates is going to microchip you.
Yeah.
So don't fucking get it. So hopefully that makes the waiting list short of Nana. So crack on.
Yeah. But yeah, with that being said, big up Nana. She is one of the 15 million plus people who I reckon by a week after next will have been vaccinated, which hits the government target that they set at the start of the year, back end of last year. And you said something about the markets reacting to some news today that potentially we're going to be out of this earlier than we hope.
So there was I think it's Professor Ferguson, who's one of the leading epidemiologists in the country, said that the virus was halving in cases every 17 days, which is quicker than he was expecting at this time. So along that trajectory, we should be out around hopefully maybe end March time. Ties up with comments that the Welsh First Minister came out with today saying that they expect to be out of lockdown or at least have restaurants and pubs open with booze by March. So come to Wales for your holidays. That's what's up.
I think if I was like Bojo, I would basically
Be a dickhead.
Yeah, I'll be a dickhead and
It's
basically
not hard for him.
I'll be a dickhead and like open
a
up
natural
open up the economy, but I'll actually suspend pubs
Oh,
for a bit longer.
Whoa.
mad chat.
Shout out Max, because I know he's listening. He doesn't like that one.
He's got no time for your
my bad,
anti-pub
Max.
rhetoric, bro.
But my bad, Max. But I do think they should suspend pubs and clubs because I feel like
State your case.
everyone just basically like
Yo, Johnny's hot. State your case.
State your
no,
case,
you know what
fam.
it is, yeah. As soon as the economy's open, fam. I saw it like lockdown 2.0, bro. Pubs are packed, bruv. Like
But they
and inside and outside. And I just think that congregation times that by however many pubs there are in the UK. That might be a fun fact to actually research later, bro. And everyone go back to their homes. Everyone goes back to their jobs. Goes on TFL and stuff, bro. We're back to square one. I blame the pubs.
Johnny, do you want to take this on?
I mean, okay,
I'm not a massive pub goer in it. Like, I like bars and like
basically going back.
beer
So there
gardens
was this
and
little
stuff like
period
that.
in the summer where everyone was allowed to have a semi-normal life, right? And
Yeah.
it did make you realise that being an alcoholic at home is a lot cheaper than being an alcoholic at a pub, right? So like economically speaking, it's probably better for like people's disposable income just to keep drinking on your sofa in the dark. Like, but from a sociological
with your
point,
Philips mood light.
with your Philips mood light, the other in the dark, baby, ambience, ambiente. From a sociological perspective, like people do want to interact, and the pubs, as long as they maintain proper social distancing guidelines, which they were meant to do last year, in terms of imposing maximum number of people, forcing people to provide their addresses. If people from the same household can stay within micro bubbles and maintain distance from other people, then I don't see a problem with pubs being open, to be honest. It's just when those rules are flouted, that's when it becomes a problem. Obviously, the ideal is like you need to get COVID zero, right? Like if people want to be able to go out to the pubs and clubs, you need to get COVID down to zero, and that needs probably a prolonged lockdown. So then you're into like quality of life versus dealing with the virus type. Yeah. For me, it ultimately comes down to like, unless the value is zero, the value is one. So if one person has it in the country, then that's a problem that everyone has, and actually the pub shouldn't be open until nobody has.
Conspiracy theorist me is a bit, well, I find it quite coincidental that all of these grand assumptions that we'd be able to open up the schools again on March 8th coincide with the R rates are going down a couple of weeks before, and I'm just like,
conspiracy,
just a little bit. And I'm not even that guy.
But you can start planning for stuff being reopened once you have proof that the R rate's going down.
Yeah,
right?
but they did that before they even started injecting people. They were like, probably March 8th was an early date.
Models, right? You can build models of people who are kept apart for long enough, and vaccination program gets to a certain point. Science, this like the modelling of science isn't like taken out of thin air, right? There are extremely intelligent people who put this shit together. You're not buying it.
Yeah, but what's that guy? There's one lanky guy that got like bullied, didn't it? The guy, there's one lanky guy who's basically like...
Chris Whitty. Shout out.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that.
Fair play to him. He's probably had no sex for 20 years, but over the numerous press conferences, he's become like every girl from like 27 to 42 secret crush.
Why? Huh?
What?
Yeah, it's
I've never heard this.
Where did you hear that? Johnny, you've got to get off Twitter, mate.
Chris Whitty Twitter is a thing.
You've got to get off Twitter, bro.
We'll hold a poll. Hold an anonymous poll. How many women find Chris Whitty attractive?
You want me to put that poll to our female?
We'll put that out. It'll be a high number than you realise. It'll be a high number than you realise.
How many women think Chris Whitty is attractive?
Let's do that one day. Yeah.
Mad.
And then if it comes out where you're wrong, you got to buy us wings.
Naga.
That seems like a very small downside for proving my point. Like I'm down.
Yeah. You're not gonna win this one. That's
no. But I want you to.
And I'm gonna pick a dead picture for the engagement.
Listen.
But if I win, you man, I got to wear Chris Whitty t-shirts on the first weekend we're allowed out.
Done. Listen, with the wings, I want you to like, obviously COVID friendly.
Okay.
I want you to like hand deliver these wings to us.
Do you want him to kill the chickens, like pluck them and
No. I just want him to hand deliver the wings to us.
Okay.
Like,
we do that.
Even with social distance, I want you
as opposed to what, like
hand deliver them and just say I'm sorry, I was wrong.
He wants meat. He wants the fruits of my labor.
No Uber Eats. Bet. Okay.
Thank you.
No, but for real, rounding it back, it's good news, man. I'm happy to be able to share some good news. Or we are happy to be able to share some good news.
We might be able to go on a summer holiday.
Yeah.
Might be allowed to fly out the country. Well,
I'm supposed to be flying out in June.
I don't know. Like, I'm just praying for it, bro. Like,
but they've only just locked up. They haven't even fucking got round to stopping people coming in. To be fair, so by the time they decide, then
in like a 10 year.
If you lie on that passenger locator forum, you're going to jail for 10 years.
But I'm saying you got to say in the
stretch, bro.
Yeah, 10 years, and then you got to say like some hotel from hell, innit? Like near Gatwick, innit?
This is Tory dream. Like the only thing worse than a foreigner is a lying foreigner. Do you know what I mean? So like, just bin them for 10 years. But like, doesn't it like speak to how?
Imagine the scenes inside. What you in there for, buddy? I beat someone up. I killed someone. What about you? I lied on my passenger.
I was in fucking Kos.
I was in Kos.
And I said that I was somewhere near Athens. Like,
imagine that. Yeah, and they're like, nah.
For real. They got you, buddy.
Stay away from this guy. He's fucking Pavlos is fucking dangerous. Then.
Yo, imagine that. But imagine that Pavlos is like, no. I got 10, but I might do 5 innit. 10 do half innit.
You know what I mean? I'm out here in a few years. But I'll probably be back, man. You'll still be here, right?
You'll start seeing the status free the man them, yeah. From like normal pedestrians, like normal law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
That they're saying free this person.
I'd definitely print out some t-shirts for you, man, if you ended up locked inside.
I would never, fam.
For
I'm a
such
coward.
crimes.
I'm
Why
a
would you
coward,
lie,
bro.
though?
Free
I don't really
Zabby.
get why you would lie.
Free Zabby.
Never. I'm a coward, bro. I would literally. I'll stay in that hotel if I need to and just.
Do we know anything about these hotels, by the way? Like, are they like private?
I think they're meant to be private. So they're going to copy the Australian model,
privately
then they're going to be
owned by
like
Tory buddies, right?
Shock, like, yeah.
Yo, I'll still.
Privately
yeah.
owned by Tory buddies, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Fam,
That's how it fucking
obviously.
works, yeah?
I'll still steal the slippers though.
Oh, 100.
Bruv, they might
I'm
not
taking
have,
the soap and the hand moisturizer.
do you reckon they got
fam.
slippers at the places you're going to be at?
Fam.
I'm not going to lie, like
1 point whatever.
1,700 for 10 days of quarantine. I better get some fucking slippers, bruv.
Bro,
Yeah, well, you better go on a good
I want a
fucking
Versace.
holiday as well.
1,750, 10-day stint, 175 a night, yeah? Do
Bro, I
you know
want
how
to be.
expensive that is for a hotel, bruv?
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Bro,
In
I want to be.
Heathrow as
I
well,
want to be
like.
living like Soldier Boy.
Airport hotel, bruv.
Listen, I want to be like Soldier. I want to be living like Soldier Boy in there. Yeah? I want a Versace robe, fam. You know when he wakes up, yeah,
And
that
the- and
song,
the-
hop up
and
out
the-
my bed, turn my swag on, bro. I'll tell the concierge, bro, bring an easel up there, fam. I'll get busy for like 10 days.
I don't think that's part of the deal, bruv, to be honest.
Easel, laptop, and cream.
What? No, that's disgusting.
That's mad chat.
No, I won't use the easel with laptop and cream, but you know what I mean, man. Like,
That's definitely mad
be
chat.
calm.
But yeah, man, let's watch this space. Hopefully we all get to have some sort of like liberty, some sort of summer holiday, even if it's just like...
But they do need to get around to shutting these fucking borders at some point. Otherwise, we're just going to keep importing the virus. Yeah? Like this is the thing that I've been going on for months. That the only upside of being a shitty little island on the outpost of the Atlantic is that we are a fucking island, and it's taken us a year to get around to actually stopping people coming here.
Do you not think they're just going to be like, all right, boom, let's shelve it. Rates are down, schools are open.
No, because that's what happened in the fucking summer.
I know, but I don't think we've learned from any mistakes during this whole exercise.
For me, this is like the inherent pussiness of conservative politics, yeah? They spent like 5 years being like, stop the fucking foreigners coming here, do you know what I mean? Keep them all out, this is our sovereign island. And the first chance they actually get to keep the foreigners out, they can't fucking figure it out for an entire year.
We were just joking.
Like, we didn't fucking mean it.
We didn't mean it.
We didn't fucking mean it. And they've been talking about like an Australian-style immigration policy for Brexit, an
Point system.
Australian-style trade deal. And then
when
the
you do
Aussies
that.
are like, actually, yeah, no, we fucking smashed COVID. Why don't you lot copy this? And they're like, oh, no. It's not, no. The thing you don't understand is like, it's not actually about stopping people coming here. It's just that we want everyone to hate the brownies and the blackies that are already in the country, right? Whether they turn up, don't turn up, it's your fucking problem. The idea is that we just get people hating each other because then the old divide and conquer, we can stay in power because white people vote against people that are darker than them.
Speaking of which, yeah, I did see on social media about a guy, I forgot his name. He clinged on to an airplane.
Temba from South Africa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And but he got asylum, didn't he? Like,
Yeah,
But like
so he's like
yo,
chilling in Liverpool or some shit right
yeah,
now, right?
that's nuts.
But to be fair,
he
if
hung on a plane in the air for however many hours.
And you watched this boy drop off at takeoff as well.
Wait, so he wasn't in with the luggage? He
No.
was hanging off the plane?
No, so like, you know, the wheels go into the go back into the plane, which isn't a compressurized area. It's like minus 40 degrees up there or something. The guy managed to survive somehow. It's fucking nuts. Do you know what, mate? That's the kind of immigrant that I want in this country.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
They're pushing this country
They'll
forward.
work hard, mate.
Swimming across the channel, like we've all done that. Do you know what I mean? We've all had a little summer down Dover, but getting a flight 9 hours and wheels, like, yeah, I'll have him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might be black, but he's all right.
Mate, he'll make it, you know what I mean? They're thinking
He's one of the cool ones.
People
right.
like him, they'll probably think, yeah, he'd be a hard worker.
Maybe all right. Just give him the old...
He's determined. Yeah, he ticks that box.
Staff party, just put him on the music. He's harmless.
Yeah, exactly.
You rap, don't ya?
You do music now?
He did a Dougie. He did a
bit
Zonto.
A little bit ish.
You can do these, Zonto.
As if fucking Gary knows what the Zonto is.
Bro, I just got a flashback to that song.
Didn't he play for Fulham, didn't he? Or was it Crystal Palace? I can't remember. Azonto. He sounds like a winger.
No. I thought he was asking a question.
I knew where I was going with it, yeah. And I looked at you. You put your football hat on.
I wasn't looking at it. That's why I thought he was being serious. Hopefully, look, I agree with you, Johnny. We need to close the borders. I'm not sure it's going to happen. There seems to be some and ahhing even with regards to the quarantine hotels. But all we know is that the schools are going to open. I'm massively fearful of that because that's what really went down. I know Zav said before you think that it had a lot to do with the pubs and the gathering and all of that. But ultimately for me, I think it was the schools. They're about to open again in a month or less than a month. And that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, in the US.
Is it Free Britney or are we doing that another week?
No, fuck her.
Is Britney banged up?
No, the documentary's come out, innit?
Oh, okay.
I do want to watch it, but yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
But also free Britney.
Big up Britney though. She had a moment. Like that was a real moment. To be honest, I listened to a Britney Spears song the other day.
What, Hit Me Babe one more time?
Nah, it was cool. My favorite Britney Spears song is a song called "Give Me More." Give me, give me, give me.
Was that
Oh, yeah,
her?
Club Banger.
Give me, give
Club
me,
Banger.
Was that
Club
her?
Banger.
give me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that tune's fire.
I thought it was like Pussycat Dolls or something like that.
It does sound kind of Pussycat Dollish,
No,
actually.
that's Britney.
Yeah. But it's
Britney,
Britney.
bitch.
Yeah, it's a tune. That came on the other day, and I was like, "Yo, this is a vibe."
Sometimes, yeah.
Vibe.
Sometimes, yeah. I'll randomly just go on Britney Spears' page.
Why are my hips moving?
Like,
Fuck.
fam, I'll randomly go to the page, yeah.
She got an Instagram.
She's got an Instagram thing.
Oh.
Yeah, look, I ain't been there for a while, but like last year.
I ain't been there for a
She's
while.
like Thursday, fam. Chill.
No, but like I ain't been there for a while. I've been like I used to go in it like around like summertime last year, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was be doing some mad things like.
Yeah, no, she's actually having real problems. The whole point of this documentary.
She's had it rough.
Yeah, we're
I think
not going to get into this, but yeah.
yeah, no. In short, I think it's her. She's suing her dad,
Who
or some
owns
shit,
the rights to the music?
Yeah, which is wild.
But then they've been paying her a stipend or something.
Oh, what, she ain't been paying? She wasn't getting paid the whole time. Probably.
No, she gets like her
She
music's
was
held
a
in a
child
trust.
star. She was a child star, innit?
Yeah. So her music's been held in a trust, and that pays her a wage. And she's like, "Well, no, fuck you. I want the money, right?"
That's
Crazy.
wild.
Yeah,
That's
it's mad
the
chat.
music industry is nuts.
I gotta say, lads, our segues are getting mad, you know,
Come
that's just
on.
like another topic we want to talk about, like this whole Taylor Swift thing that's been going on at the moment.
Drum roll, please.
Speaking of generic teenage white girls who got record deals,
Never been a fan of her music, like
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
but it's
I
like
couldn't tell you one Taylor
it's like
Swift
the
song.
biggest. It's like the biggest thing in the
But
world.
you just fucking
you know a Taylor Swift song.
You just know, yeah. You just know in your heart of hearts that she like puts a whole bunch of pictures on Instagram, and she definitely did the black square in July or whatever. But come November, she fucking voted Trump.
You reckon?
You fucking know. Come on, bro.
But she had Kendrick Lamar on one of her songs, mate.
Bruv,
And she's Kanye West's best mate.
firstly, Kanye West is Team Trump 101, and even Trump hired a black guy in the housing and urban development department.
Who was
so
that?
like
Was that Ben Carson?
Ben Carson.
That motherfucker.
I still think that Kanye didn't really support Trump. He just did it for clout and to sort of push through that policy,
I
that
agree.
bill that never got pushed through, and that's when you heard less of him supporting Trump.
I agree.
But I don't want to like go. We can go
We
down
did
the
that.
Kanye
What was it?
route
What
and,
episode was
like,
that? Was it episode 3? The
I think it
reason
was
why.
episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can spiral that one. But in terms of like Taylor Swift, yeah,
Yeah.
that story sounds mad, fam.
So do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I actually
please.
don't know what's going on. I just know that she probably votes Trump.
Yeah. So where do I start with this? Taylor Swift, like many young artists who are talented and who are seen as being the future of the industry, sign a record deal with a label.
Who is she with?
Label called Big Machine. That doesn't even really matter.
Okay, fine.
Right? But they call Big Machine. Right. And then she got to a point in her contract where she decided she wanted to move on. Mm-hmm. And she then struck a deal with Universal, which is the biggest
Okay, yeah.
record label in the
Even
world.
I know them.
Right. What had happened was, right, Big Machine owned the rights to all of her music.
The master.
The master.
Okay.
Right. After she left Big Machine to go to Universal, Big Machine sold her masters to a music manager, the biggest music manager in the world, Scooter Braun.
Okay.
She felt like she deserved the right to purchase her masters, and she said that she wasn't given the opportunity to do so. And in every single attempt that she made to try and earn her masters back or buy her masters back from Scooter Braun, he told her to get the fuck out of here.
Quite right.
Right? Tutus, she became more and more increasingly frustrated with the situation. She wasn't earning what she considered to be representative of her talent, her skill, her songwriting. And, you know, granted, she wrote a lot of these songs when she was like 10, 11, 12, became a massive superstar, got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Vote for Trump.
Right? We don't know that. And she's found herself in a situation where it's basically Taylor Swift against the music industry and
Okay.
Scooter Braun. The way that she has decided to win this case and the way that she has decided to come out of this with both her profits and her reputation intact is she said she's going to re-record every single one of her albums while she was with Big Machine and then re-release them
I think she
under
was-
Universal where she has much more of a lion's share
Right.
of her master rights.
That's peak
But I think she's
pettiness.
gonna
So
do all in one
imagine
album,
the
right?
scene, huh?
That's peak pettiness.
No, it's like 5 or 6 albums.
I saw something about having 26 tracks on the album.
So the new one that she's bringing out is, I think the newest album that she's bringing out is like the last one she did, I think, but with like a deluxe album version with like old unreleased things that she wrote when she was.
But surely you can't just record that. Well, you know more than this, more than anyone here, right? But surely you can't just record the same song because they have the rights to the melody and
They've got the rights to that finished product.
So do you remember Blurred Lines before it got cancelled?
Yeah.
Right? That had the same
Likeness.
likeness to a Marvin Gaye song,
Yeah.
right? And they got it done in court.
Yep.
So how can she just re-record the thing?
Which was a landmark deal, by the way, because
Right.
it was the first time a song has been sued or an artist has been sued for a song for capturing
likeness.
the feel
Right.
of an old song.
But it also had the same chord combination. Like, it was pretty bait.
It was.
They
pretty-
should have just. And
I denied it for a very
RT,
long
if you're
time,
gonna-
by
if
the
you're
way.
gonna- if you're
No,
gonna
I knew it
stiff-
right away. I thought it was a cover.
I denied it for a
But
very,
also,
very long
RT,
time.
like, there are people you can stiff, innit? Like, if you do a fucking Ja Rule song, no one's really going to kick off. But
Ja Rule.
Marvin Gaye, fam, like, you can't steal a Marvin Gaye song. But anyway, back to the point. If they got done for ripping off Marvin Gaye, how is she going to get away with ripping off Scooter Braun?
A loophole.
I think she might re-record it with probably maybe slightly different beats.
Yeah, so
like that's what
I
The
think
lyrics
it's
are all never the same, right?
so every single one of the songs is basically going to be called song title and in brackets Taylor's version,
yeah. So I saw that.
which I guess is part of the contractual agreement, right? I think the name of the song, the overall final product of the song, is owned by Big Machine, or was owned by Big Machine, is now owned by Scooter Braun. What
Right.
she is essentially doing is creating new bodies of work. Yes, they may have a liking, but I do think that because she was the original songwriter and because she had publishing involved, somehow through some weird loophole, she's allowed to re-record the music. The big problem isn't actually that. The big problem becomes, how does she get the likes of Spotify, Apple Music and them and so on and so forth to disassociate themselves with her old music while promoting her new stuff? Her fans are going to do it. Her fans are going to be like, yeah, we boycott the old stuff.
YouTube, whatever.
But how do you, if you're Spotify and you've got a strong relationship with Scooter Braun, who also manages Justin Bieber, who also manages, I think he used to manage Kanye West, or maybe even still does, right? Like, how do you maintain your relationship by saying, boom, we don't like Taylor's old stuff, we're going to support the new stuff?
streams.
So she might find herself in a situation where she gets strung out and kind of isolated by this industry
No,
altogether.
but the thing is, she did mention that she will have some surprises and there'll be songs that didn't make the album that be on there. So naturally, people will gravitate towards those albums to hear these unreleased tracks and these surprises that she has. So I think from Spotify's standpoint, they'll just be neutral and say, right, it's a different album altogether, and just go with that one. But it's crazy because I feel like she's probably shot herself in the foot a little bit, because I remember hearing she had the option before to buy her, have her royalties basically, not buy it, but have her royalties for X amount, for example, early days, and she chose not to.
Yeah.
And
So-
chose another option or something like that.
Yeah, so there's a big term in music contracts, typically, which is in perpetuity, which basically means forever.
Yeah.
And if you sign a contract in perpetuity, you say that I'm signing a 5-album deal with Universal or Def Jam or whoever. Typically in those contracts, same shit that Kanye West had last year when he was on his whole thing.
Yeah.
He's basically fighting the fact that up until he dies, his music is owned by somebody else. That's ultimately why Prince changed his name to a symbol, by the way, as well, because he had a similar situation where the ownership structure of his music didn't benefit him at all, which is
Okay.
why he changed his
Artist
whole...
formerly known as Prince.
Exactly.
Okay.
He became a new artist, essentially.
Okay.
Right? So that was a situation with Taylor Swift. She agreed that her first 6 albums would belong to Big Machine in perpetuity. But then when Big Machine sold, Taylor Swift announced that she'd be re-recording her first albums in an attempt to regain control of her music, calling her deal, or calling the deal, which saw her music move over to Scooter Braun, as the worst case scenario. And clearly there's an element of like personal beef as well, because her and Scooter Braun don't get along. But yeah, this is a potentially huge landmark moment in music.
It just sounds a bit sus, because like from what I remember of the Blurred Lines case was that Martin Gaye's estate, as the owner of his music, sued their man for the likeness of the sound, i.e. the chord combination on the hook.
Yeah.
And that was the basis of the copycat case.
Yeah.
So if she just comes out and releases the same beats with the same lyrics, then she's surely banged to rights. But then again, Universal aren't dumb enough to record 6 albums.
I think there's a
without-
loophole. There's a loophole.
The loophole is called
What-
white privilege.
Oh,
That's the difference.
ooh. No, but look, I think
Savvy's just nodding. Like with them learned brothers in the 70s in Chicago. Like,
I don't know. I think more on this later. The album's going to come out and we're going to learn a little bit more. I personally think it may be due to the fact that maybe in perpetuity they own just the albums, the final products, and the masters of those albums. I don't know if they are I don't know if they're able to stop her from recreating music that she actually wrote elsewhere, unless there's something in her contract that stopped her from doing that. Right? But she wrote it, so maybe
it's not a property.
So, and I guess that's where the loophole is. Maybe there's something in her contract that gave her some sort of publishing deal.
Well, look, I heard that
publishing rights.
I heard that she voted for Donald Trump anyway. So fuck her.
Stop saying that. We don't know that. We don't.
But
know
also,
that.
when you look at Taylor Swift,
do
you not just think this is a female Tom Brady?
I knew you were trouble when you first met.
That low key bangs, by the way.
I don't know that song.
You
must know
trouble
it.
when
You
you're
definitely know
me.
It's the same like Lady
rings a
Gaga
bell.
guilty banger era.
Yeah, I like Lady Gaga.
Trouble. I think, and that song was about Harry Styles because she.
No way.
Yeah, bro. She gets with these guys and she starts writing songs. Never go out with Taylor Swift, yo.
Your album
She'll
written.
dry you out, boy.
Yeah. Her label will be the last of your problems, mate. Your business will be out there, bro.
But also,
his dick size was this. His love game was whack.
Shout out Harry Styles because, like,
now he's wearing dresses and shit. Like,
bruv, yeah, to turn
that
that's the
magical
key.
box.
Bruv, there's a reason that Dave Chappelle dedicated so many episodes to Prince. And the link between one Gialist and another
100%.
appears to be dresses in that. Come on.
100%. Anyway,
but on that though, it's mad. Like with those contracts, yeah, it really makes you realize that like a lot of the things we see from the artists are like an illusion in a sense, right? Yeah. Because like the vast majority of them aren't making the moves that you think they are. It's probably the people behind them, people that own them. Yeah. And like it's basically like modern day slavery, innit?
Yeah.
And like it's crazy. I remember I saw the interview with remember Chameleon, that's it. Yeah. He was like
They see me ride.
Yeah, that one song, but then he just ghosted. Everyone thought that he was a one hit wonder, but he's just making moves in Silicon Valley. And
he's mad rich now.
He's mad up.
Yeah, he's mad entrepreneurial. He got out of the game after riding dirty, and he just started investing in property. He became like
tech.
Yeah.
He invested a lot in tech
as well.
Like early doors. Yeah. He's like that came out because they would always notice Chameleon there courtside in basketball games, at the most expensive seats. And I think it was like people just coming at him saying like, how the hell was he courtside? And it came out that he's actually like, he's very wealthy. And like he made really, really good moves. But he was basically talking about it, saying that T-Pain advised him
Nelly.
to like...
It was Nelly, I remember this. Nelly.
Nelly advised him to like look at your contract properly and in order to basically went through his contracts for free and just basically said, look, we're going to like sue, but like I just want to cut out the deal and the settlement, sorry. And... yeah, he found out that basically the contract he signed, he was $600K out of pocket. And he basically said that the vast majority of contracts that these artists get dished out, like we said earlier, if someone's handing you a contract, right? 9 times out of 10, they're screwing you over.
Yeah.
It just comes down to probably, one, how clued up you are, and two, how much or how little they're screwing you over, but they're screwing you over, yeah.
But this is the thing that there was this video that T-Pain was going through. I saw a couple of days ago where like he said that artists complain like, oh, my record label's controlling me, but like apparently, I mean, I'm asking you, you're the musician here, yeah. Apparently, the way it works when you get a record deal is like they'll give you 10 million quid, but that 10 million quid is to go make
it's a loan. Basically,
it's a really bad loan. It's called an advance.
Yeah. So like that's your piece to go and make a project, right? So if you then go make some trash project that only makes 4 million, you're 6 million out of pocket. Like you still owe them the balance,
and
you need to go and make something else that makes the 6 million, right?
And the reason and 10 million, as you mentioned, is what it used to be back in the day. So T-Pain at his pomp would have been maybe offered 10 mil to make an album.
This is a T-Pain Stan podcast.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Fucking day,
100%. Yeah. He would have been given 10 million maybe as a budget to pay for producers, pay for studio time, pay for his expenses, pay for his videos, and so on and so forth, pay for all the team and everybody who's around him. But as you say, if he then, for example, his songs don't hit, his songs don't stick, he doesn't get to go on tour because the album doesn't hit the charts and so on and so forth, he still has to pay that back. He is an investment. From the minute the record label give you a check, you become an investment and you have to return on the investment. And what happened during the Napstar era, and we're going to get into this another day, I'm sure we'll have to have another opportunity to break this down. But as soon as the online pirators and the download platforms like Napster and them man came along, is when record labels started doing 360 deals, which is essentially them monetizing like literally every single revenue stream that you have as an artist. So before, the model was, we take a cut of everything you sell in the store. So you sell CDs, you get percentage, we get the majority, right? and then you go off on tour, and that's where artists made all their money. Sure. They made mad money because they get merch and they're getting paid per night, per
Tickets,
venue, tickets, etc. But now, if you're an artist and you signed a 360 deal with Universal, and let's say you make merchandise at your shows, label gets a cut. Let's say you have a personality and somebody wants to get you on their show for a fee, label gets a cut.
No way.
Let's say you start a podcast and it's revenue generating, label gets a cut. Like
image rights,
and this is
like
the thing.
image rights with footballers.
Literally, and the trade off for a new artist, as Zavi kind of alluded to, is they give you the platform. There's a certain security that comes with being signed. People want to be like, I'm signed, innit?
Yeah.
I'm signed to the big boys. I'm sorted. I'm set. They've given me advance. Boom. I could spend it on a fucking chain. I could spend it on a car, whatever. But the murky truth is, man, like if you ain't returning that money, you get shelved. Unless you were unlucky, you're an amazing artist and you were unlucky when your album dropped and get a chance to re-release a second album, they'll shelve you.
So what does happen? Say
And
they
then
give
you
you a
end up stuck on a deal because the contract you signed may be like a 5-album contract.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you flopped after one and they don't want to reinvest in you, you're parked.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Like they just won't.
They won't release you, and there you are. You're just having to fend. Unless you're lucky enough to get out of the contract somehow because they like you and they don't see any value in keeping you, you can't sign someone else.
And that's why sometimes they get a bit. And
it's all fucked up.
And that's why artists sometimes get frustrated when they can't release an album that they want to. Because as an investor, if I think that my projections are telling me that this album isn't going to sell as much because of X, Y, and Z reasons, in fact, I want you to make an album constructed, produced, and like engineered like this rather than how you want to have it, because I feel like this will probably sell more.
Better, right.
But it's not what the artist wants to do, because the artist is a creative and he should have the rights to create how he wants to create or she wants to create. Yeah, there's always a problem there as well. But it's just actually, I think it's probably more so over the recent years that I've actually understood how big up like UK artists who have had massive growth over the years. Yeah. But because there's been such an uprise in UK artists, you realize that some of these artists are just a friend away from you. So you hear about these deals that they go through and stuff, and you probably see it more firsthand. Yeah. And then you realize how messed up it is. And to the extent where like I got a family friend who was managing a relatively big artist in the UK. And obviously he was quite new to it as well. He was just his boy, like. And he was just telling me that the ins and outs and the complications of like a record deal when he signed with like Sony or something like that. And then you realize that, so imagine I invest probably a lower scale, but I invest like 500k in you. And then to make X amount of tracks or X amount of albums, and then you don't fulfill that, but then you still want to maintain the image that you're putting out there, marketing wise, like the flashy cars, the chains and stuff.
That's how you end up trapped.
That actually gets added onto your bill.
Yeah.
So basically, the record label will tell you can have anything you like. Yeah.
Just expensive.
And then basically, artists are quite like financially, what's the word? Financially illiterate.
Yeah, for sure.
So then basically they'll
and
be
labels
saying,
know that, by the way.
Yeah. So they
pick their artists.
So when you see all these rappers and stuff, like UK rappers, the Chains and Moncler and stuff, it just gets added on. It gets given to them in a sense, like by their record label, like they'll take care of it, but it just gets added onto their bill. So then you still have to make that back. So it's basically like a bad credit as well.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's all mad, which is why no matter how painful it is, no matter how long it is, no matter how much of a slog it may seem, the independent route is so much more favorable and so much more beneficial. If you build up your fan base from scratch, they stay with you. Like if you have a cult following, they stay with you. And if they invest in you by buying your stuff, coming to your shows, and you amaze them with your performance, it's stuff that they will never ever forget. You'll have fans for life and they'll continually support you. And the larger proportion of those earnings will go into your pocket. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? A lot of these artists, for the reasons Abby just said, throughout the lockdown year, suffered. Because it's a streaming era. So you're not even actually selling physical discs anymore.
Right.
I have to stream you hundreds and thousands of times for you to get a quid. Do you know what I mean? So like artists have suffered. And if we had a culture whereby more people just saw value in owning it, like establishing their own corporate or incorporating their brand in companies and getting their business cards sorted out and going about it the smart way, you know, building up a fan base, selling merchandise and stuff, and then maybe utilizing that, reinvesting it into your craft, then the power would be with the artist. But look, that I say all of that to say, like, the power of the record label is dwindling anyway. Give it 5 years. Let's see where we are. Most artists, most big artists, the biggest artist, you call it, this could end terribly episode 10, I'll tell you right now. Drake's going to go independent. And if you think Drake is rich now, fucking hell, bruv. Woo-wee!
Well, it's like when Floyd Money
Say that one
Mayweather.
more time.
It's like
Say that one more time.
Drake is going to go independent.
And
Drake
what did he say he's gonna
needs-
be?
And if you think Drake is rich now, baby.
Well, it's like when Floyd went independent as his own promoter, right?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cash in your pocket.
In your own
with
hands.
no middlemen.
Yeah.
Drake doesn't need a single motherfucking person to sell a Drake record
Oh, for sure.
anymore.
Just for the record.
You got Zappy to buy 100 million.
Which means, ironically, when Universal go back to the negotiating table with Drake, he's going to be able to say, I want $500 million, sorry.
Cash up front
To stay here.
Up
And guess what they're
front.
going to have to do?
Pay it.
Pay the man. Pay the
Can I
man.
just say, right? Drake's name got said, and I'm just smiling.
He's just happy it wasn't him for once, isn't it? Certified Lover Boy, still not out,
Still
ladies
not out.
and gentlemen. It's still
7
not
episodes
here.
later, still
Drake,
not here.
Drake.
Nah, but for real, let's
Drake, if you're hearing this,
good topic. I like, I love when we
100%,
talk
man,
about
but
this.
Drake, if
I'm
you're
very
hearing this,
passionate
yeah?
about this fucking
I
topic.
got questions, but we'll maybe come back to it.
listen,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Drake,
yeah,
if
for
you're
real.
hearing this, yeah, just release Certified Lover Boy, please. 'Cause
He's not hearing this.
He's not hearing this.
He
I mean, I
is.
hope he is.
Drake listens to our podcast, fam.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, 100.
I hear that.
I don't.
Be optimistic, man.
Hello, you got to back yourself. We're doing the
I
independent
mean, he
thing. You
loves
gotta
the
back
UK.
yourself.
He loves the UK. The one thing he
Bro.
hasn't promoted in all of his promotion of the UK is a podcast. So
There's a first.
Drizzy,
there's-
Aubrey.
There's a first.
We're here.
There's a first. There's another mixed race Jew on the podcast. What's up? What's
Ah,
up,
for
puppy?
real.
What's up, puppy?
bruv,
I'm
use,
here.
use your connections, bro. I know you guys are all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Whoa.
I know you guys got like a a fucking
Man like-
a directory on the dark web or something.
Man
where
like
you all
Wiley over here.
No comment from me.
He's so desperate to Wiley me, innit? He's trying to
100,
corner man.
100.
Yeah.
No,
Say it.
No,
Say it.
No,
Call me a Jew, you prick.
No.
No comment from me.
No.
What's the weather like outside?
Real Jewish.
Tessica Brown.
Oh shit. The smooth segue
Have
podcast.
you, man?
That's a sticky one still.
It's a sticky one still. Have you, man, ever used Gorilla Glue?
Yes.
That shit is no fucking joke. Gorilla Glue is like industrial strength. Like,
Vaseline.
like if I broke like, I don't know, something very wooden, like if I broke this door in half and I wanted to Gorilla Glue it, Gorilla Glue's strong enough to
Hold that thing together.
bruv, Gorilla Glue
Yeah.
is mud.
You serious?
It's
No,
mad.
I put Gorilla Glue on my skirting boards. If my skirting board comes off, like if it's drilled on and somehow it's come off, I would use Gorilla Glue, and that's stronger than the screws.
This shit is different class.
Stronger than more relationships in my generation.
So I just
Exactly
don't,
that.
I just don't understand why anybody who was born before 2005 would be stupid enough to spray Gorilla Glue in their head top.
That's a lot.
Why did she do that?
She's trying to get the stick down look.
She was trying to get, you
to
know
get
when
stick down
girls have that really slick,
The baby hair thing.
yeah, you know what I mean?
trying
But
to do
what
that.
she
She's
didn't
so
realize, is that the Gorilla Glue that she was purchasing was not the Gorilla Glue that some women in America
It's
apparently
not that,
use.
it wasn't part of their hair care line.
Yeah, so there's a hair care line. No, but apparently,
No, there isn't
quiet
a
as kept,
Gorilla-
there's a hair care line called Gorilla something.
No way.
And that's where she made the fucking mistake.
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't
buddy.
know that.
Yeah,
I
so
thought she was
there
just
is
trying to go OP.
No, there's a Gorilla Glue. It may be called something else, but it's definitely got Gorilla in the name.
No way.
Which she thought she bought. Which I'm not buying, by the way.
I'm not buying that.
Because Gorilla Glue isn't one of them things that you find in the fucking next to the Nivea.
Bro,
you know
it's
what I mean?
also a very
where
distinct orange package,
Yeah, you
like-
find it next to the fucking, like, what's it called? That UB45 spray shit. And you find
It's
it.
WD-40.
WD-40, yeah.
What did I say?
You were moving red.
What did I say?
Red wine.
You said
Dun,
EUW5 or something.
Hey, stay close to me. Did I say UB45?
You said UB45.
Oh my God.
You're
You said some next
idiot,
thing.
bro.
Yo, my dad would be so proud. Anyway, like, yeah, no, you find like Gorilla Glue next to like the WD-40 and all the hardware tools, bruv.
Yeah.
Like, you don't find it next to the hair goods, the hair
Yeah,
products.
yeah.
So I don't know what she was
reckon she
doing.
knew what she was doing.
She might
I
have,
reckon
she might
she did.
have,
She took the risk.
The
she might have Amazoned it.
bro, maybe. But
Your
even
face.
then,
Zavi's face like,
But
because
even-
then on Amazon it's next to any other product, isn't it? So she might have found it that way. Though.
but even then,
You know me, man.
but even that, but a rebuttal, if you will, is when you're looking for Gorilla Glue, or when you type it into Amazon, it will say Gorilla Glue in, and then the section, no? It'll be like homeware. It won't be like beauty and you know. But you feel me though. So again, for your little argument, yeah, she probably
My Amazon.
she probably got it from a store, but she might have Amazoned it.
and Prime.
Millennial, innit? Come on, man. Come on,
She's
Rick.
not a millennial. She's 40 years old. She's 40 years old.
She's old enough to know better. Goddamn
She's
it.
just stupid, man. You're just stupid.
No.
And
just
it took her a
stupid.
month before she then came to social media to inform us of what had happened. So she had been going through this for a month, and what ensued thereafter is just the whole world like fully invested.
So was her hair like
Whole
mad
of
patchy
Twitter.
and that?
So the whole of Twitter was
Literally, no. So her hair was, mate, it actually looked perfect. Because she had glued it, it looked perfect. But she couldn't move it. She was trying to wash it
She
out.
couldn't undo it.
She couldn't undo it.
Yo, she dumbass.
She dumb as right? So then like
Stupid.
every single day we
Is
were
you
getting,
stupid as you dumb?
Is you stupid? Is you dumb? Tessica. Why is her name Tessica? American names for black people are so crazy out here.
They just make them up.
You know why?
Tessica.
Because like, her
The
mum was called
fuck?
Jessica and her dad was called Timmy. And then like
I don't
they
think
just thought,
so.
They just thought,
I don't-
no, in America,
Reasonable explanation.
no, in America, they probably merged two names and thought Tessica.
Why not?
But then they got people called like the armchair and shit like that, like the kitchen. Like it's just mad, bro.
I met-
Some of the
I met
names in the NFL.
DeMarcus Beasley.
No, but yeah, broader, but also mad name. Like what
Bro,
the fuck?
I met an American guy. Yeah, I met an American guy. His name was Tavier. Right,
It's just unnecessary.
and his mum name was Tina,
Okay,
and his dad name was Javier. He was like Latina.
okay.
Yeah,
His name was Tavier.
his name was Tavier because they
That's
merged.
mad
He's like
chat.
a Latino New Yorker. Name's Tavier. Yeah, and it's the Americans and dumb stuff.
So-
Tessica,
Hey Ma, where's my sandwich?
So Gorilla Glue obviously caught
Bologna.
wind of this
Where's my bologna sandwich, Ma?
due to the fact that TMZ got on top of this story and covered it from its origin to the end, which we'll get to.
This is basically the only thing TMZ exists for.
Clearly,
The people
Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue and shit on their head.
Gorilla Glue, the company, got a hold of the story obviously as well, and they were nice enough to tweet, "We are very sorry to hear about the unfortunate incident that Miss Brown experienced using our spray adhesive on her hair." So much sauce in this. "We are glad to see in her recent video that Miss Brown has received medical treatment from her local medical facility and wish her the best."
Do you know what was jokes though?
Then they added the actual, what looks like the sort of like instructions or the little message
The
that you
lawyers
get on the
got
back.
involved.
"We are aware of the situation and we are very sorry to hear about the unfortunate incident." And then they go on to say, "Our spray adhesive states in the warning label, do not swallow, do not get in eyes or skin or on clothing. It is used for craft, home, auto, or office Johnny, can you hear this? Like, it's used for craft, home, auto, or office projects.
This
right?
is legalese for it. It's your own damn fault.
To mount things to surfaces such as paper, cardboard, wood, laminate, and fabric.
Not your skin, mate.
We are glad, not your
To
skin,
put your hair
mate.
up on scalp. Like.
Not your scalp.
Dumbass.
We are glad to see in a recent video that Miss Brown has received. So basically, what happened? She got mad acetone. She went to the hospital. She got mad acetone to try and get the shit out. Nothing was budging, right? And then she cut a part of her hair. She managed to get some movement going, and then they cut off the ponytail, so it just looked even madder and just wackier in it. She looked cracker out in it. And then some amazing Harvard graduate doctor called Michael Obeng, Ghanaian brother. Another win for West Africa. He took her in. I think he offered her his services for free. He brought her in, and
marketing.
she now has full movement in her hair again. So
Well, it's done.
Tessica, you dumb fuck.
Well, shout out Mr. Doctor. He come up with a custom chemical mix
Oh, did he?
to get the thing to unstick.
Bet.
So he done it himself. That's see, this is why you beat your
now you can
children,
package
because
that. You can package that.
strict parenting produces intelligent children. That's
And you
what's
know
up.
what? And he can package
Just
that, and then he
beat
can,
him.
bro,
Beat him.
he can package that and start distributing that as well, fam. And then
Well,
boom.
for any other people that Gorilla Glue their hair.
No, but for real, like Gorilla Glue could pay him.
Bro, do you know what
Because you know there's going to be like Gorilla Glue accidents, right?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
we all had
yeah.
super glue accidents, innit?
like-
Yo,
like,
Gorilla Glue's nuts.
Gorilla Glue could just pay
Bro.
him and be like, if this
like
sticks to you.
my social media campaign of 2021 is probably like fucking like normalize Gorilla Glue in your hair. Do you know what I mean? For fuck's sake. Like, there's a cure. Like,
survival of the fittest.
end the stigmatism around Gorilla Glue in your fucking hair. Do you know what I mean?
Agree.
Like,
I agree.
grow up.
But I want to end this topic by saying that there was a man in America, only in America, obviously,
Only in America.
who didn't believe the story.
Okay. Was he from Florida?
Let me give you the headline.
Where's it from?
It's a very good question, Johnny.
Florida man.
Let me
It's alligator.
let me give you the
man.
headline. Man, Gorilla glues cup to his lips because he didn't believe Tessica Brown's story was real.
He's from Florida. Please tell me.
Could possibly lose part of his top
Where's
lip.
he from?
And
Where's
it
he
was
from? Where's he
definitely
from?
the capital.
Newsweek reports.
If he's a gringo, he hasn't got a top lip to lose anyway.
Len Martin glued a paper cup to his lips to
Where's
prove.
he from? I probably don't care about the rest of the story. I just need to know where he's
I
from.
don't know where he's from, but we got listeners, Johnny. Oh, fine. Fucking hell. Len Martin glued a paper cup to his lips to prove that the heavy-duty Gorilla Glue that Tessica Brown used in her hair was not as sticky as she made it seem. Look what pandemic is doing to our
Wait,
people.
is he?
Say it. You tried to wily me. Say it.
Is he? Is he like?
Is he? Spit it out.
Melanilically challenged.
No. He's not melaninically challenged
He's
at all.
he's
Quite the
positively
opposite.
melanated.
He's ducky.
He's tall and
He's got pigment.
He's tall and fast.
Pigmentation.
Pigmentation.
See, I was thinking this is
mad
going to be some
pigment.
like alligator Jeff who was like, "Fuck it, these black people just lie anyway. I'm going to see that."
You know what it is? My man just probably wants the followers.
So, and to be fair,
Cloud's killing my people.
to be fair, Tessica's followers shot through the. I think she's near a million followers.
She's
now.
an influencer
Yeah,
now.
yeah, she's crazy. But yeah,
got management
let
on
me
her
just finish this
Twitter
up. Let me finish this up. Martin said that he thought she was playing around and didn't think it was that serious. Unfortunately, he found out the hard way just how sticky Gorilla Glue actually is.
Oh, it's a sticky
like
one.
Tessica Martin is now warning others, thanks Len, not to use it on their bodies. Thanks.
You know, shit. Like,
Yeah. After doctors had to graft off part of his upper lip to remove the cup.
that is grim. That is
To be
grim.
honest, sorry, mate, I don't know where he's from. Let's just say Florida because, you know.
That's just why not.
It's wild.
Did you see
No,
the
no,
tweet
no,
that came out
not-
today? They were like, "Should we release a haircare line?"
Yeah.
But no, for real, I want to finish on this, and I can't believe I'm saying this to our listeners. Don't use Gorilla Glue on any
shit.
part of your body,
Don't
please,
fucking do it.
because we will block you from our follower list if we find out that any of you do that. We don't want to have any association
Trust me.
with you if you do that shit.
There's a really, really bad racial joke to make here, but I won't do it.
To whom?
You might as well now.
To whom? To us? Or?
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously it's about black people. Like,
Yeah. All right. So let's just anyway.
Moving on swiftly.
Anyway. Nah, but for real though, no Gorilla Glue. So interesting week. Do you guys want to talk about Michaela Coel versus Emily in Paris or Rochelle Humes versus Candice?
do we have to choose?
I don't know. Whichever one. How you feeling? Which one you want to address? Because we need to address both. Which one do you want to go for?
Candice and
We'll start there.
Rochelle.
All right, you want to go Candice? Right. Okay. So you man, this week, Rochelle Humes from the Saturdays.
God bless the Saturdays, by the way.
She uploaded a post, and the post is the following. Hey gang, I'm currently making an investigative document. I don't know why I'm doing this voice. Investigative documentary
your
looking
accent of the
behind the
week.
shocking statistics that in the UK, black women die during pregnancy, childbirth, and shortly after at a rate of more than 4 times that of white women. I want to find out why this is. And we have met some incredibly brave women as part of my investigation into what's going on. This is a very difficult and sensitive issue, but I think in order to make a change, it's really important to give a voice to families that have lost their loved ones in this nature. Fairly innocuous, right? Mm-hmm. Just celebs doing celeb shit, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody was like, cool, like, sounds great, amazing, really, really important topic. And then Candice Brathwaite, an award-winning author, I think she's like Sunday Times bestseller. I think it was a day or so after, less than 24 hours, she posted, well, that got interesting. I appreciate the love and support. The truth is, up until 6 weeks ago, I thought I was going to present that documentary. I had been contacting in March. Why can't I read today?
Got Gorilla Glue at your scalp.
I had been contacted in March of 2020. It had been an ongoing discussion for the last 9 months of the year. I'm not sure what happened, but it's not meant to be. Although it will always be something I'm passionate about, I have set my ego aside because it's not only who I tried to highlight the disturbing data when it came to black women dying in childbirth. So it's a group effort. It always has been. So as gutted as I was, the message remains the same, and it's such a serious issue that we should hold space no matter what or who is narrating the story. Why is this happening, and what can we do to fix it? Hopefully documentaries, books, and most importantly, listening to black women will help things. The internet went bananas.
I think the internet was going bananas before she came out with her post, to be fair.
What, against Rochelle?
Yeah. So
Why?
as soon as Rochelle's piece came out, people have put the connection together, right? People have been
No, I think it was when
anticipating-
Candice came out that people started connecting the dots.
No.
Because Rochelle came out first, bro. That's why I said it first.
Yeah, Rochelle came out first, and then as soon as Rochelle came out, people go nuts before Candice came out. That's why she said it's got
Oh,
interesting.
bet.
So
Okay.
this was all on the Twitter sphere, right?
Okay,
This was kicking off. People were Candice and the wider community had been expecting Candice to make this show.
And what were they saying, Johnny?
They were saying, as we did in episode 4 or 5, this was another example of colorism coming to the fore. So to give some background, Candice, as a best-selling author, is someone who's raised awareness on the issue of black maternal mortality, who has some credibility, who's been campaigning, been raising awareness on the issue, and as she said since March, had been expecting to present a show on the topic. Subsequently, Rochelle came out, and everyone being aware of the project that they thought Candice was working on, said that she was going to be the one doing a show with the BBC on the same subject.
Yeah.
People put 2 and 2 together,
Yeah.
and didn't think that Rochelle had been picked over Candice to present a show. Now, a lot of the outrage was quite simply that a mixed race woman who arguably not, hasn't necessarily overtly identified with her blackness in her art, has been chosen over a darker skinned black woman to present a documentary about a topic that predominantly affects darker skinned black women.
Yeah.
People didn't think that it was fair that a lighter skinned woman had been chosen for that topic. Cue meltdown.
And then it emerged. There were potentially some details in the story which weren't very clear that then needed to be made clear by Candice. So she then put out a message via her Instagram again. The producer of the show that Rochelle Humes is to present has called me asking me to clarify that I was never in the running to present that particular documentary. Here I go, not being able to read again. So for the record, I was contacted in March 2020 by a different production company about developing a similar documentary and had been speaking with them throughout 2020. Our last Zoom call being in December 2020. I've been advised that the show with Rochelle was also being developed at the same time I was engaged in discussions and obviously commissioned. The producer said that fortunately for him, his show was simply acquired first by the BBC, and these things happen in television. I was also told that I would never have been a front runner for this particular documentary, as they prefer their subjects to be removed from the situation so that the element of discovery about an issue is genuine. But there would perhaps be room for another documentary of the same nature after this one has aired. They asked me to contribute my expertise, but I declined as I don't want my trauma to be mined for a show where I have no control of the narrative. My agent had asked a few weeks ago if there was a possibility I could co-present alongside Rochelle and was told there was not. At the end of the day, I cannot overstate enough how important it is for this issue to be spoken about until we are able to save more black women. On a personal note, I've learned a lot and I'm thinking carefully about my future in TV on the whole. Thank you guys so much. Zabi, what do you think?
Mate, to be honest with you, I think from an honest standpoint, I feel like what annoys me the most with situations like this, we start off one week by talking about, you know, the division between, or the division in terms of like white supremacists and like clear segregation from like the higher ups and stuff, from like a media standpoint and stuff. And then you got a situation now where you got 2 black girls, right? Both have been in the pipeline for a similar documentary, but somehow social media still finds a way to drill down on discrimination and
Cause a division
cause
already a divide.
Cause the division when there's already a divide, right? I get it. Like there's always that narrative about the light skinned girl being more glamorous or preferred than the dark skinned girl, right? But I just think that if we were to take this a step further, and this is just like my thoughts on it, like people might disagree and stuff, but if we take it a step further and you think if it was Rochelle talking about a documentary, it doesn't necessarily have to be about black women and pregnancy and the downside risk of it as well, the common downside risk. But if she was up against a white woman, you know, I think the herd will probably be back in her corner, you know?
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
in a situation where you got colorism involved, which is like, I call it like, in a sense, like a branch off racism, of like clear racism and discrimination. You got colorism. I feel like it does more damage than anything. And I feel like I did notice, like I didn't really, like where I don't follow like blog pages and stuff as much as probably I should actually probably start following some just for podcast reasons as well, just keep more up to date a bit in real time. I just noticed overnight it was like a drop of silence. I saw a lot about Candice that I didn't know what was going on about it, to be honest with you, until like you guys mentioned it the other day. Like I was like, okay, I've seen bits and bobs about it like on my explore page and stuff, and I just noticed like a pin drop silent when Candice came out and said, you know, matter of fact, I was never up for that particular documentary that she was in the works for, and everyone just moves on to the next thing, you know. I personally feel like it's not healthy. That's it really.
I had a problem with a few things. And I agree with much of what you said, Zav. My biggest issue here is that clearly the BBC fucked this up a bit, but they still get their documentary. Meanwhile, there is a unnecessary period of infighting, and I don't want to be too dramatic, a period of infighting which, and you know how I feel, I've touched upon it with regards to male and female relations, but it also extends to within our culture, infighting.
Intraracial.
Intraracial, thank you. Infighting that happens within our race that's also causing a divide. Yes, Rochelle, not known for her participation or her support or research into this particular topic, but the minute I saw this story, I knew what it was. I knew it was business. I knew that Rochelle, like, irrespective of her being mixed race, she's a celeb. She's a star, right? And the BBC still want to get people to watch the show. And the easiest way to do that in this entertainment business, even if it's not a entertainment-worthy topic, right, is to get some star power in there.
Yeah, and not chance it.
And not chance it, right? Yes, there are issues of colorism in TV all across every industry you could ask for, to be honest. But us turning on Rochelle isn't necessarily the fight that we should really be picking, because loads of people, by the way, Kelechi Okafor and all these people saying Rochelle's complicit. I think that's a bit deep. What is she complicit in exactly? By accepting a deal, by accepting a role in something that maybe she hasn't spent her whole life trying to research or be interested in, but maybe as of recently may have taken some interest in it. How was she complicit? How is she directly impacting Candice's life by accepting that role? Indirectly, she is for sure. But I struggled with the abuse that Rochelle got. Definitely supported Candice. I did myself because I know what's going on. But we can find a sort of balance where we are supporting Candice on one hand and still sort of supporting Rochelle, who's got this opportunity to make a important topic much bigger.
So I think, okay, fine. So there's like 5 or 6 different points to get through in that. So that's fine. So like the first point is that how is she detracting from Candice directly? Okay, so the first point is like personally to Candice isn't just a nobody on the topic. She's somewhat of an authority on the topic. She's campaigned, she's raised awareness. She had been mooted to be making this for a long time. People respect her views on it. She has her own following. So it's not as if she's a nobody coming to it. That's to do with Candice personally.
Definitely not a nobody.
More widely, on the colorism space, there is a difference. There is a material difference between maternal mortality rates between lighter skinned black women and darker skinned black women. So the point of outrage in this documentary was that if this is meant to be a documentary on black maternal death, not mixed maternal death, then there needs to be a darker skinned black woman who presents it as a face of the subject matter, regardless of expertise.
We're all black, bro. Like, I struggle with this because, like, we're all black and we're perceived as black by anybody who's
Obama's mixed race and he was considered
you
black.
feel me? Like, so carry on though.
And like, I get not this is more your space to comment than mine, but that's what the discourse is that basically a lighter skinned woman has taken the stage from a darker skinned woman, regardless of levels of expertise. The relative expertise is important though. It is important because I think there are certain topics that allow, and the phrase that Rochelle used, and I think Candice backed up, was that there is an element of discovery. Okay. So there are topics that allow for some discovery. Like, very big fan of Reggie Yates's documentary series where he went around Southern America. Louis Theroux is basically fucking world famous from being.
I call Reggie Young Louis, by the way.
Yeah,
he's
RT. He is.
Yeah, he's such a cat.
And Reggie is a fucking cool geezer, and Louis Theroux is the Don, right?
Yeah.
But they are specialists in voyages of discovery, but their topics are more relevant to a viewer's learning than a topic of immediate urgency. And a topic of immediate urgency, I mean, is something like, why do so many black women die in the NHS giving birth? For example, you wouldn't want to watch a Simon Sharma history documentary presented by Graham Norton, right? Because, okay, like there are some scopes, like when Louis Theroux goes and investigates the Westboro Baptist Church, cool, yeah, maybe I'm willing to go and learn about that as he does. But like there are certain topics that, you know, you maybe want to have an expert's voice on. And that's where Candice was coming to this project from. That's where a lot of the Rochelle versus Candice thing comes from, is that, okay, Rochelle has no track record on this topic. She has no track record on this topic. She is effectively a former pop star.
But do you think a company like BBC takes the risk putting Rochelle in a situation where she's doing the investigative journalism type stuff if she isn't an expert? Do you think they would take that risk?
100%, and that's what she's admitted.
I personally think no. I think the role, when this documentary comes, I put money on it. I reckon the role that Rochelle's going to have in this documentary is going to be sort of like a very generic, sort of basic, sort of question, sort of answer type dynamic with her.
Like an objective.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very basic. I don't think that they're going to go into... No. And look, that might be, and look, we haven't actually touched upon the fact that there were two documentaries.
We'll get into that.
That were being made at the same time. Maybe the one that got commissioned maybe isn't the deep dive. Maybe it is something that's a little bit more top level. Maybe it is a little bit more broad. Maybe it doesn't go into a level of detail that maybe Candice would have gone into, right? So the fact that they've taken a gamble on a celeb who isn't a known name in this topic, for me, paints a picture about what the documentary is going to be about or what it's going to be like. So in many respects, I don't necessarily think we are losing out. We're not losing out on a massive opportunity for Candice. She can still carry on. She can still make another documentary. She can still do that. She has a following. If it goes via YouTube, if it gets signed off by somebody else, if Netflix copy it, whatever it may be, she still has an opportunity. But they took a business call. Me and you debated it. They took a business call with Rochelle.
Yeah. Because
I don't think they wanted an expert.
Okay, so then I think why, like, you kind of question. There's a couple of reasons why you question they don't want an expert. One is because is it that Candice, as an expert on the subject matter, will maybe ask questions that are difficult for the NHS and the BBC structurally, institutionally to face. Like fundamentally, if you've read a lot on the topic, a lot of the reason why black women die giving birth is because when they experience pain or whatever, they are less likely to be believed by nursing staff. So if someone who really knows that already and isn't starting from a point of figuring that out, if someone is 30% further down the road than Rochelle is asking more specific and better questions, then this is basically a quasi form of censorship, and that they're asking an idiot to go and ask questions versus an expert, and less will come out of it. But that's one way of looking at it, right?
How do we know she's an idiot on this topic? I know you've used that. Okay. I know you've used that loosely.
I've used it flippantly, right? So I'm not saying she's an idiot, but the fact is that I don't think anyone thinks that Rochelle is a greater authority on black maternal mortality than Candice.
But the issue isn't actually
which means at a base level, Candice is starting further down the road.
I think the issue is more that people just don't consider Rochelle to be black.
That's part of it. That's a part of it, and in this instance, we did a colorism piece.
Because I think a dark-skinned Rochelle doesn't catch that smoke, even if she's an expert or not.
I think what you're saying is probably more in depth and thorough than what has made this spiral out of control. Like, I agree with every point you said, and I don't know as much about the topic of between Candice and Rochelle as you guys might. But from what I did see on the face of it, it was just purely on a level of colorism, nothing else to it.
Yeah, so
nothing about capability or like level of intellect on the topic. And
so you think they picked her just because she was lighter?
Yeah. No. I'm saying the argument.
Oh yeah,
the outrage.
So exactly. People were focused on
that. Everything you said. 100%, I see 100%. That, and if I had more knowledge in the situation, I probably would have factored those things in. But I'm going by what I see on social media.
Sure.
And that's the only thing I see.
Sure. Yeah. So the point for me is that, so we did our whole episode on colorism. We did it, Annie and Georgia Smith, etc. Like, we've made our views on colorism clear.
Yeah.
In that instance, it was a light-skinned woman coming to support a greater positive image of black women generally.
Yeah.
Okay. So the difference is here is that this show is rooted in colorism insofar as it was meant to be, as far as I understand, or is meant to be a documentary as to why black women in particular,
Of course.
defined by their color, die at higher rates. And
Yeah.
they do die at higher rates than mixed race women, right? So regardless, even if you disfactor the point that Candice is a significantly better educated person on the topic than Rochelle is at the moment, why would you have a light-skinned woman who isn't directly involved in darker skin maternal mortality?
I just don't think we should start the sentence with light-skinned. I think what you said after light-skinned is more to the point. It's a celeb play.
Okay, so this is another point I want to make.
It's a celeb play.
This is another point I wanted to make, right? So being pretty brutal about it, there's going to be a fairly limited
Pool.
viewer base on this. Yeah, like really, there's going to be black women who watch it. There is going to be a certain section of like guilty white people who watch it. I'm probably not going to watch it. RT. Like, of course, naturally as a human, I care about black maternal mortality. Am I going to like, and most people listen to this probably aren't either, even if they pretend and they say they will, yeah? Who is going to watch? There's going to be black women, guilty white people, and a few other mothers, people who've had difficult experiences in childbirth. That's your target base. Like Tracy in Swindon, who voted UKIP, she's not fucking signing up.
At the same time,
regardless
though, bro.
if it's Rochelle or if it's Candice, like Middle England is not tuning into this shit.
bro,
Yeah? This is a very specific show.
Let's put it this way. You find out tomorrow Kanye West is doing this exact same documentary. Are you watching it, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, now I have a question. Why the fuck are you watching Kanye West? Who the fuck is commissioning Kanye West doing a documentary?
Because it's somebody you love. No, but
it's commissioning Kanye West doing a documentary on black maternal mortality.
You understand why I asked that question though, right? Because irrespective of Kanye West's expertise on the topic, Kanye West has fucking fans.
Like Xavi.
And me.
And I hear that.
And me. So
I hear that.
So literally, Rochelle went from being the Saturdays. I don't think she was lead singer. She was in the background somewhere, right? She went from being in the Saturdays to marrying that JLS brother to being on like, I think
Strictly Come Dancing or
Yeah,
some
Strictly
shit
Come
like.
Dancing. Maybe like Loose Women here or there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's a TV darling now.
Sure.
And she's got a fan base, a massive fan base,
Sure.
right? So again, do we think that every decision like this has this sinister play behind it? Do we want to fall into the trap of thinking that every single decision like this has a sinister play behind it? I said in the chat the other day, BBC's done a great deal, especially BBC. BBC have done a great deal with like trying to undo and trying to promote diversity. You know, just watch any BBC Sunday or weekend over the last couple of years. It's like fucking small acts, or it's like fucking noughts and crosses, or it's like they're doing things like they're bringing more faces and they're bringing more diversity. I don't know what's happening in the Ivory Towers. I don't know what's happening at BBC's offices, right? I don't know what's happening there, and I'm sure in the offices the decision makers are still pretty limited. In the radio section, it might be different. The face of the radio stations, for the most part, quite diverse, right? So I don't know what's happening within the power structures, but ultimately, they, on the face of things, they are being diverse and they are trying to promote diversity.
Yeah.
So again, given that fact, and we have to give credit when companies and when industries are paying attention and making change. With that in mind, yes, we accept that they're going to make some mistakes along the road.
Yeah.
Because it's a tricky road. But do we turn around when these situations happen every time and we'll be like, yeah, but this is egregious? I don't think we should. I think sometimes we should just look at it for what the fuck it is and just say, look, right or wrong, and they were definitely wrong, by the way, the BBC. Right or wrong, BBC are, whether or not they should be or shouldn't be, because we had that conversation as well, are still gunning for ratings. They're still gunning for views.
Yeah.
They still pay to produce these documentaries.
Yeah, that's how they get. That's how they get paid, though, isn't it?
You feel
From
me?
viewings.
But
and
this,
stuff.
so this is the thing. Like, so the first point I want to make is that Rochelle and Kanye is a false equivalence. Like, no shit. I understand that if more people turn up, if Kanye,
No,
if
it's
Beyonce,
relative.
you missed his point there.
It's relative though, because my
it's a false
point is
equivalence,
that
right? Your point is that if someone's
doesn't-
more famous than someone else, then people are more likely to watch the more famous
No.
person, right?
The point I was actually trying to make is that you're saying that because she's not an expert, she shouldn't be anywhere near this topic, and I'm saying facts. But the reality is that she's been picked for this particular topic that she's not got any real expertise or that we know
because
of.
she's famous, right?
Because she's famous.
Yeah, and I hear that.
And I'm saying that the fame element has a pull. That's why I mentioned the Kanye West.
Yeah.
Clearly, she's not Kanye.
Look, I just don't think that she's that famous to justify that, right? I don't like. Does Tracy from Swindon remember the fucking Saturdays? Probably not, right? But anyway, that's a different topic. The bigger, wider point.
I want to meet Tracy from Swindon one day. You love yourself some Tracy from Swindon.
A big
She's probably cool as well.
I was going to say,
fan.
she's a listener being like, oh, they know me.
Big fan of Tracy from Swindon. But the wider point is, and this is an argument that we've had, Rich, is that when you say like we're here, the BBC is here to make sales, okay, like the BBC franchises certain types of shows. Luther makes a shit ton of money. Doctor Who makes a shit ton of money. Top Gear makes a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Let's be very real with each other. Is a single form documentary on black maternal mortality going to make a lot of money?
Maybe not.
It's not. It's not going to be.
Yeah, I mean, not Luther money for sure.
It
it's
probably
not
will
gonna be-
raise
hold
a lot of more awareness than money,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, this is the point. So now we're on to now we've all agreed effectively to the singular point that this is not a money-making show, okay? And the BBC, as a taxpayer-funded TV station, firstly and primarily doesn't need to have the same creative constraints as a TV station that needs to generate advertising revenue because it doesn't unless it franchises its show.
They got
Its
social
job-
responsibility, though,
it's-
BBC.
Exactly. But
Right?
the point is that their job is to inform, educate, and entertain.
And I'm saying that's all
Inform,
well and
educate,
good
entertain.
back in the day. That's
But
all
it
well and
still
good.
is the model. We still pay for the BBC.
But
they should be producing
they
quality content.
clearly
They're not
made
here
it-
for clout.
And they made a decision that they can bring awareness, they can highlight an important issue, which is part of their social responsibility to highlight issues, educate, etc., but with star power.
Okay.
To maximize
Sure.
the reach of this thing.
And
I mean, look, we could go on about this all day. It's a fucking good conversation. What do you, man, think about the fact that they didn't mention each other in their barbs? Obviously, Candice spoke to the people, and obviously Rochelle spoke to the people, but they didn't actually mention each other, or, as I like to say, and this might sound a little bit inflammatory, but support each other.
Yeah, I think Rochelle probably knows that she's got away with one. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I feel
Wow.
like Rochelle knows that she's got a bag here, and
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And this is better. And like, this is not my view, but this is a fairly consistent view on the Twitter sphere, which is not necessarily the best place to take your information from. But anyway, is that in fact this is the first chance that Rochelle's ever had to pretend that she's ever reached out to the black community in a creative
I
space.
hate this narrative, though.
But that's what
We don't know that shit. She could be the blackest motherfucker in the world. I
could
don't
be.
even know what that means, by the way. But she could be down. She could ride for all of our shit, but just
could
not
be.
talk too much.
But she could be. But
why do we make this assumption
she
that just
definitely-
because she was in a pop group,
Yeah.
and because like Marvin from JLS is her boyfriend or whatever, and that, like she lives in Essex and her sister was on Love Island, she sounded like every Essex
She might
bird
have
under the sun.
Maggie in the cupboard.
You know what I mean?
She might have Maggie.
She
in the
might have
cupboard.
Maggie.
She might have Maggie in the
Her
cupboard.
pounded jam
She-
might be nice, rude boy.
But
She might wash her rice, fam.
But has there been any? And again, it's not my view; it's the Twitter sphere view. Has there been any particular outreach from her
But why
to
do-
represent to
why-
stand
why-
up?
why do we ha- but why do we have to-
So we'll take an example.
But why do we have to do that? Why is that a thing within black culture? Why do we have to prove our blackness? I hate the shit. Who do I have to appeal to get my blackness rubber stamp?
So I hear you, right? So this is the thing we've discussed about performative white
Yeah,
guilt,
yeah.
right? And there is a thing about performative
Fucking
black guilt
hell,
as well.
bruv.
Like performative black guilt is also a thing. Like you have black celebrities who also presented a black square on Instagram in July and then disappeared and never said anything again.
Facts.
Like Pepsi can type protests, right? This is the argument though, is that Rochelle presenting the show is probably the first, like again, pretty fuck thing to say, but probably the first black thing that she's done since she got famous, right? But that's the argument. That's the argument. That's the
I
argument.
hate it.
That's the argument.
I just hate it. I hate it, bro. I hate it. Yeah. Why do we do it?
We can go on about this topic forever.
For real. But nah, for real. The reason why I asked that last question is because I really would have loved it. It would have been so refreshing, given that Candice has a huge fan base, given that Rochelle has a huge fan base. I would have loved it, and I would love it going forward if these kind of conflicts, and they weren't really conflicts. They don't hate each other, I'm sure.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to finish the point.
my
Very
bad.
quickly. Basically, just that I think Rochelle's, as much as Rochelle's got away with it, I think Candice has come with an incredible amount of class and restraint. I think she's had a bag taken from her because she is a New York Times best-selling author and she has a profile, etc., But presenting a BBC documentary on a topic that she was very passionate about was probably her break. That was it, and that break's been taken away from her, and so she should be pissed. And that she hasn't kicked off is to her own character.
I agree, for sure. I think she handled it with class. I think that Rochelle handled it as best as she could as well. I don't think that she, in taking that deal, knew what the impact would be. I don't think she should have deferred or dropped out and said Candice is the better person. I don't necessarily think that's her responsibility to do that. I think Candice, there's an element of this where Candice probably should sign some paperwork before she says that she expected to be anything. Like, it's contracts, let's be honest. Like, motherfuckers are shady. Get that shit in writing. Let the ink dry before you start talking about it,
This is
right?
the media contract episode.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, for real. The reason why I asked that question about, like, do you take anything from or see anything in the fact that they didn't say anything, I would have loved it if, like, Rochelle maybe would have been like, look, and she came out and said, basically, I'm using my platform. I've got a platform and I'm using my platform to make an issue which is not well known, much bigger. It would have been great if she would have been like, you know, look, I know there are other experts in this area, Candice, whatever, big up, love you, la la la. It would have been great. And on the flip side of that as well, Candice knows that when she tweets what she did or what she posts, what she did, that there's going to be people going for fucking Rochelle's blood, right? And I think there's an element of responsibility that comes with a big following.
She's got less of a following than Rochelle. This is the whole point of this argument, right? It's tough for you to say
she's got no. But
she's got less of a responsibility. She's got less of a following than Rochelle does, right?
I think you're picking a point that doesn't really need to be made, because the point is, if you have any huge following, which Candice does, yes, albeit Rochelle has a bigger one. If you have a large following, full stop, and it's in the hundreds of thousands times bestseller, so she's clearly very well known. You have to know that when you put out certain messages, though, that also has an impact on the abuse that somebody else gets as a result of that. Yes or no?
Yeah, and I think I think she was very magnanimous in her message anyway. I don't think she said anything that should incite anything towards Rochelle.
Well, there was a video where she was kind of just like, I feel like for the first time ever, I just want to be out of my skin. I don't want to be black. I'd love to see how it kind of feels like to just not be me and not be in the skin. That is heartbreaking to hear and to read. And I'm dark, you know what I mean? So I understand. But again, it wasn't Rochelle's fault. And I think when you send out some of those messages, you're setting somebody else up who isn't necessarily directly impacting you for a lot of shit. And in this era where mental health and all this other stuff is super, super important, and we have to be responsible on social media, certain things can just be dealt with privately, not in public. Like,
but she's been publicly stripped of the opportunity, right? The BBC have publicly given the show that they were working with together a march to someone else.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody, this became public when they both came out with it. It didn't become public because the BBC made a fucking statement that we're picking Rochelle came out and said, I'm doing the show. But she didn't mention anybody.
She said, I'm doing the show that everyone thought Candice had been making since March.
No, she didn't mention Candice.
But she came public with the fact she was making the show.
But there were two. So there were two documentaries.
There were two commissions. And again, it goes back to the BBC. It's a BBC problem, right? It's a BBC issue on dual commissioning, on picking one voyage of discovery versus a voyage of expertise, etc. It's a BBC thing.
Yeah, I mean, BBC are the most fucking complicit in this whole thing, let's be honest. It's, as I say, they still get
they are chilling.
Yeah, they still get their documentary.
Well, we're talking about it on the podcast, right? So, like, the bag's there.
We have heavily plugged them.
Yeah, look, support it, no matter what. Big up Candice, because she says something very important. Support the thing. Rochelle
support the topic. It's the topic that's most important.
Support the thing. Watch it. Give it the views. Who knows? Like, if it gets the views that it needs, it snowballs and it becomes a much bigger conversation, a conversation that needs to be had, you know? Like, yeah, it's important that this gets out there. You hear stories, and like, we obviously had an influencer last year who passed away post giving birth, and, you know, it happens. And we want to shine a light on these issues. But in the meantime, like, the infighting is getting tired, bro. But anyway, good talk, man. Good talk. Lastly,
on the topic of...
No. We're going to keep this very, very brief. Why do people get so mad, yeah, when their favorite show in the world? It's the same with albums. You liked fucking Weeknd's album, his last album, with that dusty song, I'm blinded by the lights.
That's a banger.
I hate it. Anyway, and then he doesn't get nominated for a Grammy, and everybody thinks like, oh my God, like, how fucking dare you, Grammys? Like,
they're racist.
Boycotting him. Why do people get so tight when the things that they like aren't given awards? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, goddammit, I'm talking about I May Destroy You versus Emily in Paris. Why are people so tight?
So, all right, hold on. So this is a deeper seated issue, and you have a personal view on the content creators behind each research. Do you want to just get it off your chest? The title of the pod is This Could End Terribly. So.
Nah, and we're not going to focus on this a very, very long time because we've already kept you for a long. But I didn't really like I May Destroy You, first and foremost.
It goes back to who? So
I thought it was
which of the content creators do you find very overrated?
It's not that I think she's overrated, by the way. No. It's not that. I think that the show I think I May Destroy You was just a bit shit.
Okay.
I didn't love it. I thought that they were trying to throw and wedge in every single modern day social woke sort of anything in there to shine a light upon it. And for that very reason, just from an artistic perspective, I just think it was a little bit all over the place. Clearly a topic of such importance needs to be displayed on television. But at the end of the day, like I didn't really like it. Emily in Paris, however. Nah, equally trash, but like
it's trash. Nah,
but bingeable as fuck.
You know what,
lads? By the way, you know Emily, like the actress, Lily Collins. Guess who her daddy?
Philly Collins.
Guess you what?
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Really? Wait.
Phil Collins, her daddy.
No way.
Yeah.
I can feel it calling in the air tonight.
That's a banger. Whenever I hear that, I always think about the Cadbury's
That's her
advert.
daughter.
I always think the Cadbury's advert with that one.
Yeah, with the gorilla.
Drum, yeah. But I'll tell you what though, yeah. I'll tell you what. I genuinely think that I May Destroy You. I actually enjoyed watching it. I do see your points. I do feel like they tried to cram a lot of things in
too
there,
much.
and it was a bit forced. They weren't really cutaways. They were quite focused on certain things. But I do think that the relevance of I May Destroy You and the awareness and how that probably educated me, let alone other people, on the topic of rape. It should have been something that should have been, in a sense, honoured with some sort of award.
Why?
Right?
Why?
But,
What if it's shit? There
no,
are loads of great things.
But she's put out, and she's also put out her own like vulnerabilities and past traumas and stuff.
Okay, that's
but
great.
I've seen Emily in Paris, and I loved Emily in Paris. Like.
Are we that podcast now?
No.
I want to disassociate myself with all the comments.
No, you know what?
Separate.
I would never. I loved Emily in Paris. I would never compare the two. They're not on the same level.
Course.
And Emily in Paris, I liked it because it was.
Yes, Sav. What you just said is super important. But carry on.
Yeah, I don't even know what I said, but it sounded. Was it good?
Yeah,
okay,
it was great. It was great. Carry on. I'll tell you what.
But I think Emily in Paris was a binge watching it. It was trash TV for me, right? And it has a different sort of effect and satisfaction for me.
Yo, that old French lady who works at the old market. Yo,
Waco,
bruh.
We need to get it added in, bruh. So I think personally it's stupid that they both up for the same nomination.
But that's why. That's important, by the way. I know Johnny's dying to tell us that he thinks that I May Destroy You is the greatest thing he's ever watched on television.
He's itching.
Go in.
You must say your piece.
Has he told us before?
No. What I was going to say is that people were tweeting things like, if you need proof that white supremacy is still around, ladies and gentlemen, I May Destroy You was not nominated for a Golden Globe. Like the stuff
we basically still live in a Nazi state
people get
because
away with on Twitter is
it wasn't
mad.
nominated.
When is the quality control?
As Johnny says, there's a platform of freedom of speech.
When are we gonna get some
love that
quality?
saying.
When are we gonna get some quality control on Twitter?
Well, if you've got dead chatting on that tweet,
yeah, basically,
that's what's up.
we need that because that's insane. And the wickedest thing before we get onto yours, and we can finish up with Johnny's opinions on I May Destroy You. The thing that was crazy is that Emily in Paris got nominated for like best comedy or best series,
comedy
musical or comedy.
Yeah.
So all of this talk pitting these two women against each other, right? They would have never had anything to do with each other.
Yeah.
In the Golden Globes, full stop, because clearly I May Destroy You wasn't a musical or a comedy. So I don't know why Emily in Paris being voted for, nominated, was directly linked to I May Destroy You. And again, man, agendas and conspiracies, I don't want to get into it all, but I'm getting tired of just like being pit against my fellow man. It's getting a bit shit. Like I can't deal with it. One's not got anything to do with the other. Somebody like Lily Collins is meant to feel amazing about the fact that her show got nominated. And then one of the writers from her own show is like, no. I May Destroy You deserved an award. And it's just like, bruh, stop.
Oh, that was a comedian.
No, it was a writer for
the Indian lady.
No,
the Indian comedian lady. Deborah Kabim.
Yeah, she's a writer for Emily in Paris.
No, she's a comedian. She's a troll.
Oh.
she trolled everyone.
What?
Yeah.
But she had an article in The Guardian or some shit, no?
Yeah, it was mad chat. So she tweeted like, I originally wrote it for an Indian woman and TV like stations binned me. And then I went back with a white girl to another station and they signed it up. She's a comedian. That's a troll.
Mad.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right, Deborah, you got me here. To be honest, I didn't actually read the whole article, so maybe I should do that next time.
Wait, no, hold on, because there was a Guardian article with a white lady, and then there was an Indian lady who was tweeting.
Well, there was definitely somebody in an article that says, I'm a writer on Emily in Paris, and I May Destroy You should have been nominated. I definitely read that headline.
So that might have been something else. That might have been the Guardian article, yeah.
Okay.
So there was another lady who was tweeting all over Twitter, and there was an Indian comedian.
Oh no, it wasn't a tweet. It was an article.
Okay, fine. So
But yeah, it's weird to me. Like, and people, you are allowed to like enjoy your favorite shows without it being recognized. Like, I happen to think that like The Sopranos is one of the greatest things that's ever been written. But like, you know, there are people who think that Breaking Bad's better, or think that The Wire is better, and all this other stuff. It's okay. Does that take away from my enjoyment? No. My enjoyment. Award shows don't mean fuck all. Award shows since the beginning of time have been bought. Mm-hmm. They've been bought, ladies and gentlemen. Okay,
yeah.
Even for the Grammys, you know you're gonna get nominated for a Grammy, and you know you're gonna win a Grammy when they get you doing all of these Grammy event sort of ambassadorial things, and like it becomes a barter. I do this Grammy event, that Grammy event, that Grammy event. I'm gonna get the award, right? And then they give you a little wink,
little hello.
You know what I mean? So all of this shit is corrupt anyway. So ladies and gentlemen, I urge you, if you enjoyed I May Destroy You, which I did not, it doesn't matter if it didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
Nominated. Johnny, you loved it though.
Yeah, look, so like the thing that Richard's trying not to say is that he massively thinks Michaela Cole's overrated, generally speaking.
I don't though. She's great.
So
Wonderful
I haven't
face.
watched her first stuff people talk about though.
I haven't watched that.
Chewing Gum.
Yeah, Chewing
It's
Gum.
wild.
I never
bro.
watched that.
But it was I preferred that.
I never watched that.
Wild, but I preferred it.
I never watched that. Anyway, I think like again, not that I want to be the fucking voice of the Twitter sphere on the podcast, but the wider point, and this that I do agree with, is that okay, although people aren't necessarily, I think people understood that Emily in Paris was up for a different category than I May Destroy You. But the point is that how can a show that effectively has such little kind of real relevance be up for an award when something as profound as I May Destroy You doesn't even get recognized? Now, this is the point. I want to make.
She did get recognized, by the way, just not by the Golden Globes, but carry on.
Sure. Okay, fine. So the point I want to make is that even within the context of how many drama shows have been nominated, like I don't really think you can call yourself a proper TV critic if you say that you've watched a lot of television and I May Destroy You isn't one of the top 10 dramas of the year.
Wasn't Tiger King.
Again, that's probably up for the comedy award, but Cool Cat.
I didn't like Tiger King.
Wasn't Love Is Blind. Was
What I want to explain to the Cool Cats and Kittens is that I May Destroy You, I thought was very, very profound. I thought it was very, very serious and very important. It was quite groundbreaking, and it was quite groundbreaking because like the BBC or whatever have moved on from like, look, we've got Lenny Henry on the variety show. We're not racist.
Yeah, I want no bad words.
No, I love Lenny Henry.
About Lenny.
But like he was like there was like you'd see him at Comic Relief every 2 years, and then one day they got like Stephen K. Amos live at the Apollo, and he was like, and he started doing jokes in an accent, and then everyone was like, whoa, no, that's too black, that's too black.
So I used to have a colleague who said that I looked like Stephen K. Amos.
Paul.
I need to Google him.
Carry on.
So then like even Stephen K. Amos was too black. So then they got like Omar Jalili to come out and do a Nigerian traffic warden. And that was it. That was like the black equilibrium on the BBC, right? And then they come out with something like I May Destroy You, which is like unapologetically, and I don't want to be one of these fucking guys that go to Zavi's art exhibitions and look at your art and be like
rubbing your chin.
It's just like the chin rubbing brothers from episode 1 be like, it's such black art.
The paint is not thick enough.
It's
just so black.
It's so black.
It's so black.
It's so black.
Why did I do that in a French accent?
That was very strange. That was quite weird. Anyway, moving on. The point is that it was quite a profoundly black experience, right? It was her with being around her support network, around the exploitative network, Papa's experience as a black man on Grindr, going into a cop station, having a cop who's also black, which negates the whole experience of gay men being not believed by coppers because the other bloke he's interviewing is also black. So it's not like it's not a race thing. It's a homosexual thing, etc., etc., etc. It was a very profound show in a lot of different ways. Had a very deep meaning. It was very well done. The acting was very good. The storyline I thought was very good.
100 miles an hour. This guy speaks. Have you ever noticed that? Mm-hmm. It's mad. I'm listening to it through the headphones now. He speaks 100 miles per hour.
But you know what you do you can do on Spotify. You can slow it down.
0.8 pace.
But that makes the fucking 2-hour podcast like 3 hours.
Keep up. It's not my problem. It's a personal problem. It's a personal problem. Anyway,
sounds like a you problem.
Sounds like a you problem.
Listener.
Sounds like a you problem. Anyway, the point is that something that I think it was very. I do actually think it was very profound. It had deep social meaning. It was very well executed. There was very good acting. It was a good storyline. Very well produced. How something like that doesn't even get considered, I just don't see how a TV critic board can see 8 better shows in the drama category than that in the year. when something as fucking base and meaningless as Emily in Paris gets awarded.
Yeah, Emily
for a
Paris is
competition.
basically
but it wasn't-
It's
about
meaningless.
influences,
Like,
isn't
I get it, it's quite jokes, and I
No,
binged it. I
no.
binged Emily in Paris as well. Like, it's just, but it is fucking meaningless. It's pointless, right?
Emily in Paris has made me miss Paris, to be honest with you.
It's like I did kind of want to visit, but then every time I think about Paris, like the metro fucking stinks and everything's expensive.
Metro's alright.
Yeah,
bro.
but
Depends
when,
which
when,
line.
I'm in Paris, I like to walk around.
It depends which
Yeah.
line you get on the metro
most
for
of them
smellies.
stink.
No. Yeah, it's all good.
And then people
you
also
get on the line
refu-
4, it's alright. It's
People
alright.
refuse to speak to you in English. If you speak a word of
Rich,
French,
you're a
people
seasoned
just
brother.
refuse.
Bro, I'm French as fuck. Let's keep it real.
Seasoned
I
brother.
know my way. I know my way around that motherfucker.
Anyway, I thought I Made a Straw was exceptionally good, and I thought Emily in Paris was
really love this
was
show.
decent. I thought, yeah, man, I thought it was very good.
Exceptionally good.
I thought it was very good. Yeah, I thought it was very
I've really
good.
ruined any chances of ever approaching Michaela to speak on this show. With
I thought it was very good.
But I do love her. I think she's an incredible talent. I just think she missed with this one.
I don't think she missed. I actually enjoyed it.
Problem is, you just can't find anybody who agrees with me.
Basically,
No, the only thing I agree with you, I just found it a bit much. The amount of
Tampons.
like, you said
Tampons.
it's the tampons.
oh that tampon
tampon
scene,
bit.
yeah,
That was mad chat.
That caught me like, hey!
That was mad chat.
ah!
That's
That's
mad
mad.
chat.
And that's immature of me, but like I did.
Yeah,
That's
that's
my
nuts.
chat.
That was
It
wild.
just came
fam.
out of nowhere. It just hit me like, hey?
Oh look, I think am I seeing this? Am I seeing this correctly?
Almost came out of the TV. I was like, hey. Wow.
4D splatters.
Trust me, that was. I don't even think. Ugh.
Why can't men deal with like bloody
Got
tampons? We
it.
can't
You
do
know,
it.
I can't deal with blood. Full stop.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
you one of them?
I get wheezy. And
yeah?
like, yeah, I don't like seeing blood. So when I
Anyway.
saw that, yeah, on TV, I was thinking, nah, this is haram, bruv.
For real. Look, I'm gonna shoot through the music because we've hit that 2-hour point.
Already.
Yeah, bro.
Jesus.
Music that you people should be listening to this week. 2 albums just dropped overnight. One is Slow Tie, his second album, Tyrone.
Decent.
Collaborations include Skepta, A$AP Rocky, James Blake, The King. It's way better than his first one. If you're a big Slow Tie fan, you're going to love this album because it completely shits on his first album, in my opinion, which was a little bit all over the place. I'm a little bit on and off with Slow Tie just because of his erratic nature and some weird stuff that he's done in the past. But from a musical standpoint, this is really good.
Yeah.
He's basically like a British Limp Bizkit for 2020.
Big up Limp Bizkit.
But he is like, you know, it's like that.
Fred Durst.
Like I'm Buki and I probably wear jeans and I also rap about weird shit and I've got different kinds of flow. Like, is that not Limp Bizkit?
Limp Bizkit!
You just need fucking
Nah,
Korn
Limp
to
Bizkit's
come
the
and do
legend
a
there, man.
guitar
Bro, that was an
versus.
error for me, boy. Like,
What?
Limp Bizkit.
And when Limp Bizkit linked up
Linkin
with,
Park.
when Linkin
Oh.
Park linked up with
Bruh.
Jay-Z, yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, odd.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm
gonna play that
What
way
an error.
home.
What an error. Then
Odd,
Linkin
odd.
Park albums.
Guitar rap. The
Oh,
world
my
needs
Lord.
more guitar rap.
That new metal rap. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I'm down for it, fam.
So yeah, check that out. Obviously, we got this new film coming out, this new Fred Hampton film, which is starring Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah,
Keith Stanfield as well. The
Lakeith
goat.
Stanfield,
The GOAT.
fucking young goat in the making.
Goat, bruv.
Yeah.
The original soundtrack, which is executive produced and majoritively produced by Hit Boy, is on there. Amazing songs. Collaborations on there include Nipsey Hussle and Jay-Z. You got a song in there with her. You got other people on there like J.I.D.,
Lil Durk.
Rhapsody, Little Durk. I'm missing a big name. Did I say her? She's amazing. Check that out.
Trash
it's
album.
a really, really good album.
Trash
Johnny,
album.
Johnny doesn't like it.
Trash
I was
album.
very underwhelmed with Jay-Z and Nipsey's song.
I liked it. I think Jay-Z's verse was incredible, as usual.
I was a bit underwhelmed. I
Trash.
feel like it just sounded like another post Nipsey passing away song.
Yeah.
Like for example, Nipsey's track on Rick Ross's album. Was it what was his last album called?
It wasn't. It was was it on Rick Ross's album or was it on Khaled's?
No, Rick Ross's album.
Oh, no, I don't know.
He had a song with it, and that's when Nipsey's like, "Why you think Tekashi told?" But like, it was a similar beat sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just felt like with Jay-Z being in the room with it, like it's in the room, isn't like being involved in the song. I was just expecting something that was more unexpected.
Right. No, I think it was pretty safe.
But I gave it like 2 runs. I gave
Nas
it 2
is on
spins.
it. Nas is on it as well on Black Thought. Two
Yeah.
of the
You know, I
greatest
still
to ever
need.
do it.
You know, I still
Yeah.
need to listen to Nas' last album.
You should do it.
Come on.
Johnny, why didn't you like it?
So, can you give me a time limit like you did on UBI?
You got a minute.
I got a minute. Okay, so this whole film is about Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton was a revolutionary who died when he was 21 years old in Chicago. This guy was rising up up the ranks of the Black Panther Party. The guy fundamentally was a fucking socialist. Above all, was a class warfare socialist. Okay, so I can't say it, but I'm going to point at you, man, and you, man, need to say the N word for me because I need to say it in a couple points I'm going to make. All right?
I can't.
Otherwise, we're just gonna have to fucking bleep out half of this monologue. All right? So please do me a favor. So there's a song on this.
Can we say ninja?
All right, fine. So there's a song on this on the album by A$AP Rocky called "Rich
Ninja.
Problems," yeah, which goes totally fucking counterintuitive to everything that Fred Hampton believed. Right? The guy was entirely about class struggle, class warfare. One of his most famous speeches, the most cited, is that the counter solution to capitalism isn't black capitalism, it's socialism, right? It's socialism. And more importantly, to round this off, this guy that you're, and I'm going to use my point privilege one more time, the guy that you're fucking gassing up big time, Jay-Z, who made a song called
Ninja
in Paris, he got slewed off by Fred Hampton Jr., right? Because he tried to basically use Fred Hampton's name in a song. And one of his bars, I can't remember what the song is, but he says, "The day that Fred Hampton died, I was born, whatever."
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, right, I just clocked you.
Fred
on
Hampton,
the day Frank Hampton.
Fred Hampton didn't fucking die, bruv. He was assassinated by the FBI, fam. He was assassinated by the FBI. I'm sorry if it's a fucking spoiler. If you don't know who Fred Hampton is, it's your own problem, yeah? Like, he was murdered by the FBI, and a lot of this album is about, like, people becoming rich and drinking champagne and smashing hoes and hotels.
Black excellence, baby.
Yeah, but that isn't. That's the point.
I thought that was unfair because he's a lyricist and the lyrics have to fit, right? You can't.
But the lyrics. So if you're making a soundtrack about the film, it should be relevant to the film.
It's not fair.
It should be relevant to the film.
I look.
And the film is about a black
Music
guy.
reviews by Johnny Viva.
No, I'm all down for. I will concede. I will give space on music reviews. I will do. But where it's an official soundtrack about a socialist
I
revolutionary.
can't believe we got Johnny to speak about music on the new music section.
I love this.
I can't believe we got him to talk. Like, what the fuck?
2021, baby.
2021,
baby. New year, new me.
But the point is that where this is a film about a very famous and tragically murdered young black socialist revolutionary, like, he would be aghast to fucking hear that people are talking about popping bottles.
But at the same time, bro,
it's
like,
ridiculous.
So you think that Fred Hampton Jr. is coming at Jay-Z for that bar, but yet Fred Hampton and Jr. is approving this whole album to go through?
Fred Hampton, I appreciate that he's on the album. I appreciate that he's on the album.
So what's the fucking problem?
Problem is that the shit that they're rapping about on the album about the film isn't to do with anything about the main fucking subject of the film.
Look, if Fred Hampton Jr. happy with it, I'm happy with it. If his mama called him cash,
Cash.
You know what? I was actually going to say, this reminds me of the scene out of Coming to America.
What's the line?
If Mama called him Clay, I'm calling Clay.
If mama called him Clay, I'm calling him Clay.
Who's next?
Lads, episode 10, man. Virtual Spud.
Virtual Spuds. Love.
10 episodes.
Finish on a hype as well. Normally we wind down to the end of an episode.
Johnny got so hot in it.
Listen, he's going red.
Go read about Red Hampton. That was a fucking bad man, bro.
Yeah, listeners should if you haven't. But like,
Yeah.
this has been a pleasure.
I enjoyed it.
I love you both.
Always good when we come together. Love you too, bro. Johnny, quick question before we round up. How was it for you being in an Instagram DM with me and Zav, just like going at it and arguing? How was that like for you?
That was my chat.
Not knowing Zav as well as I do and us just like beefing. How did that make you feel for it?
I was looking for the colorism angle, but you're both dark, so there was no upside to me getting involved.
Yeah, exactly. There's no
Too
colorism
dark,
in this
brother. I
one.
couldn't monetize it. It's fucking pointless.
Anyway, listeners.
It's love. Family argue. That's what's up.
That's it, man.
We love you guys. See you later.
Love you. Laters.
Bye.
Bye.